It's mid-October in Texas. Time for teams around the state to get that one last good test in the non-district slate and figure out who they really are in 2020. The number 7 team in the state in 5A Division II, Mansfield Timberview, on the road and punching up a couple weight classes as they visit Flower Mound on Friday Night Football. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Flower Mound. Mike Leslie here with you as always, joined again this week by former TCU and LSU wide receiver John D'Arce, and we've got a good one for you tonight. The number 7 team in the state in 5A Division II, Mansfield Timberview is, and they are 1-0 to start the season. They were supposed to have a game last week, a real good test against Red Oak. That game got canceled due to COVID-19 concerns, so they are 1-0 to start the season. 28-14, they beat Mansfield Lake Ridge in their opener, and they've got a bit of a quarterback quandary at the moment, trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do at that position. The transfer from Bishop Dunn, Simeon Rice, and the returning player within this program, Xavier Walker, each of them are very talented and very deserving of the position. They just haven't figured out which one of these kids is going to be their guy this year. It may well be both of them. One place this program, though, does not have any question marks, John D'Arce, is at the defensive line position. Across their defensive line, they are very, very good, one of the best in the state with that unit. But the bell cow is a kid on his way to Oregon, Terrell Tillman.
You're correct there, Mike. We have Terrell Tillman on the other side for the Wolves. He is an absolute monster, Mike. He is 6'4", 220. He just flies to the ball, Mike. I mean, 19 college offers before committing to Oregon out in Eugene. This kid is an athlete. He also, in track, he also runs the 110 hurdles as well as the 300 hurdles. And so, Mike, I mean, just an absolute monster on that defensive side of the ball for the Wolves.
Meanwhile, Flower Mound off to a 2-0 start to begin the season. Their defense, the story as well, 9 points and 7 points given up in their first 2 games of the season. And it's their defensive front, in fact, as well. This is a game. If you're a defensive line person, this is the game for you. And the kid to watch tonight for the Flower Mound Jaguars is a kid by the name of Stone Eby.
Correct, Mike. We have also on the other side for Flower Mound, we have Stone Eby. I mean, Eby is an even bigger giant. I mean, he's 6'4", 245. He is a absolute monster for this Jaguar team. He is a SMU commit, and this kid can fly to the ball. And so I'm excited to see these two giants go back-to-back on the defensive side of the ball. Even though I'm a little biased to the skill guys, it is still going to be a battle in the trenches tonight, Mike.
All right, time to get you our starters for tonight's game. First, for the visiting Mansfield Timberview Wolves, we mentioned Simeon Evans, the starting quarterback. He and Xavier Walker will split time quite a bit. Deuce Jones in the backfield, a third-year difference maker for this Wolves offense. And their offensive line is big and powerful. And when they get healthy, they may be even better. Meanwhile, defensively for Timberview, again, their defensive front is outstanding. Not just Terrell Tillman, but also Ram Stevenson. Both of them are Pac-12 commits. That is a difficult defensive front for the Flower Mound offensive line to deal with. Speaking of the Flower Mound offensive starters, Nick Evers, their starting quarterback, just a junior, first year starting, but off to a very good start. 545 passing yards in these 2 games and a trio of touchdown passes. He's got a quartet of wide receivers on the outside that he can throw the ball to. Andrew Moss in the backfield, and the running game in general for Flower Mound needs to be a bit more productive if they're going to keep defenses honest. Defensively for Flower Mound, we mentioned Stone Eby already. Colton Votney on that defensive line, also very good. A kid that may be getting some FCS, possibly even FBS attention as the recruiting scene opens back up over the course of the next several months. Joey Lukash, an interesting kid, played JV last year as a junior to get extra reps and get and to hone his skills a little bit, and it has paid off for him. He's now a starter on varsity as a senior. Head coaches tonight for the visiting Timberview Wolves, James Brown in his 9th year, 50-42 in his time with Timberview, and for Flower Mound, Brian Basil in his 4th year with the Jaguars, 22-13. One of these 2 teams heads into district play with a perfect record. Kickoff is next on Friday Night Football. 22. Deep ball from Towns for Jaden Chambers. Behind the defense. Nice move into the end zone.
Wow.
Friday Night Football, live on the WFAA YouTube channel. Every Friday night, all season. And a lightning strike from Darian Peace. Friday Night Football, live on the WFAA Digital Network from Neil E. Wilson Stadium in Flower Mound as Week 3 of the Texas high school football season gets underway in 5A and 6A. Mike Leslie and John Diarce here with you high above Flower Mound's Wilson Stadium. Flower Mound won the toss and deferred to the second half. Timberview will get the football to start. And, John, our first opportunity to see Simeon Evans or Xavier Walker, the two quarterbacks for the Wolves.
I mean, Mike, I think Simeon Evans is going to start off the game hot. I mean, last week, just letting the ball fly. 11 for 14, 211 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just a electric type of player. And, again, in Xavier Walker, just a guy that is trying to come back from an injury last year, tore his ACL late in the season. And he's still working his way back from injury. But they are definitely going to use both guys tonight, and I'm excited to see what this Wolves offense is going to do.
Under clear skies, windy here in Flower Mound a little bit, but very comfortable. Just a hair under 80 degrees as we get set to kick it off. It will be Flower Mound to kick it away. Burt Auburn, their fantastic kicker. This is a kid who, in the special teams game, can be a weapon. Has range out to 55, according to their head coach, Brian Basil. He is a very, very talented kicker, one of the best in the state. He gets set to kick it away to Mansfield Timberview. Deep to return for the Wolves. Landon Hullaby, Preston Starks, Todrick Dixon, 3 of their key return men. Hullaby, a very talented young safety. Only a junior, but a 3-star, verging on a 4-star recruit. Really, really talented kid that we'll talk about over the course of tonight. And we are underway in Flower Mound. A very nice kick, perhaps somewhat aided by the wind, but there's a little bit of a taste of the leg from Burt Auburn through the end zone. And it's a touchback for Mansfield Timberview. So out comes Simeon Evans, starting in each of these first 2 games of the season for Mansfield Timberview. But again, you will see Xavier Walker over the course of the evening. Evans in the backfield alongside Deuce Jones. You'll also see Mondre Hogg, their starting fullback. He's in a bit of a tight end position on the first snap of the day. Motion man across the formation, the little pitch to Baron Loftus, and he comes near side. Picks up just a few. Loftus, Williams, and Evans, their 3 starting wide receivers. Gemetto Obigbo, Zach Humes, Moses Escalante, Holly Gilliam, and Josh Atkins, the starting offensive line for Mansfield Timberview.
Here we go, second down right here, Mike. I think they're just trying to find the flow, trying to see what this Flower Mound defense is going to line up and do here. But again, just a nice, simple jet sweep right there on the first down play.
2nd and 7, they throw near side, incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended wide receiver.
That is DeMarcus Isaac right there. DeMarcus Isaac down here at the bottom.
Starters, meanwhile, for the Flower Mound defense, Sam Vibrel, Colton Votney, Bentley Stry, and Stone Eby, who we told you about off the top of the broadcast. That's their defensive front. Ryan McDavid, their nickel corner, out there with Landon Colby and Joey Lukash, their 2 linebackers. The other 4 DBs, Cooper Davis and Jaden Esposito on the outside. Devin Hassett and Ty Overton, the 2 safeties, high over top. It'll be 3rd down. They're trying to change the near side down and distance marker. It is now correctly reading 3rd down and about 7 for Mansfield Timberview. So an opportunity early on in the football game for the Jaguars to get off the football field. Evans in shotgun, slings it right side. Deuce Jones trying to get the corner. He's got it, and that should be just enough for a first down. Yes, he's got it by a couple yards as he was able to tiptoe up the sideline, and they move the sticks.
Mike, right here, they're just throwing a simple running back swing out there to the right side, trying to get Deuce Jones the ball. He is a load when he has the ball in his hands. And so right there, you can just see him kind of break a couple tackles and get up the sideline for a first down.
Brings the ball out to the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for Simeon Evans. Motion man is Loftus once again. Fake it to him, give to Jones up the middle. Enough for 3.
Some nice window dressing right there, bringing that man in motion again. That's what they did on first down, the first play of the game. But trying to get Deuce Jones going in this running game here. And again, he is a load, Mike. He is 5'9", 210, and he is all of 210. He is a powerful back and can wear down the defense, man. So I'm excited to see him get this running game going here early.
Just a bit over a minute elapsed in quarter number 1 here on Friday Night Football. We do appreciate you guys joining us here on the WFAA YouTube channel. Mansfield Timberview and Flower Mound as Stone Eby hops on the back of Deuce Jones and call it a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and short. Georgetta Jemison saying in the comments on YouTube that that's her nephew Deuce, saying let's do this to Deuce Jones. A couple of nice carries for him early on in this football game. If you are watching right now on the WFAA YouTube channel, drop us a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're tuning in to see. And please share the stream around to your friends and family that may want to tune in for a good football game on this Friday night. Thrown over the middle, nearly intercepted just beyond the grasp of Joey Lukash, and incomplete on 3rd down and 4. And it looks like Mansfield Timberview will have to punt.
Right there trying to attack the middle of that field right there, Mike, but just a great job of Flower Mound of just covering up that back end right there to get a good stop on 3rd down.
So out comes the punt team for Timberview. Andre Williams, their punter. Also one of their talented position players, so always a fake threat, but the rugby-style punt is away. Coming near side and breaking a couple of tackles here for Flower Mound is Chase McCall, able to get out to the 25-yard line, and decent starting field position for Nick Evers and company.
Solid return right there, Mike, trying to get this this offense set up here. Right here inside the 30. I mean, just a great return, trying to get about 10 yards. And that's what you want to see out of your special teams, especially your punt return. You want to aim for getting the 1st down on any return to set your offense up nicely.
So out comes Evers, 6'3", 185 pounds, a junior starting for his 3rd game in his high school career, and he'll roll left on 1st and 10. Had to duck his shoulder and finally got the throw away. They'll say it was incomplete on the sideline as he tried to hook up with Landon Widener. Beg your pardon, Widener. Widener, a 6'3" junior, 192 pounds last week, 5 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown. They will spread it out and throw it around in this Flower Mound offense.
Pretty interesting right there, Mike, on 1st down, getting him outside the pocket there, trying to get him on the edge. I would assume that they would be trying to get away from Tillman all night with his long range at defensive end.
Evers coming near side, nearly held on to by Isaac Carpenter. Would have been a fantastic catch, but it falls incomplete. 2 throws, 2 incompletions, and very quickly Flower Mound in 3rd and 10.
Yeah, very, very quickly. But like we said, I mean, they like to let the ball fly around right here, and that was just a simple smash concept right there on 2nd down, trying to attack these safeties, these deep safeties by the Timberwolves. And so I'm excited to see, Mike. I mean, this is a fast go type offense right here, letting the ball fly early.
There was 9:45 on the clock when they got the football. 11 seconds have expired, and they face 3rd down and 10. 4 wide receivers set. Evers stepping up in the pocket. He's hit. Ball's out. A strip sack for Mansfield Timberview, and the Wolves are on top of it. Coming out of the pile with the football is DeMondre Green, and the first big play of the day goes to the Wolves. They recover it on the 22-yard line in Flower Mound territory.
I mean, this is exactly what we expected to see from Terrell Tillman right here, just getting around that edge, just a nice, long, lengthy, athletic kid. Getting that strip sack early here in the 1st quarter, I mean, that is setting the tone right there, setting the momentum, and he is fired up to make a play like that early on.
We told you about him off the top. Terrell Tillman is a terror off the edge and showed it right there, creating the fumble. And now Mansfield Timberview's offense in fantastic shape. It'll be Xavion Walker at quarterback to start this series as they hand off for Deuce Jones, running right side, picks up a couple.
Right there, just a simple outside run play right there, trying to get on the edge, trying to get Deuce Jones going again. But as you can see, Mike, I mean, it's very easy for him to break some tackles, being 5'9", 210, just carrying a nice load. But that is a great job of getting on the edge right there, bringing it to about 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4.
You'd imagine a lot of kids don't have too much interest in tackling 5'9" and 210 pounds.
Not at all.
2nd down and 3, give him 7 on the carry. A little miscommunication there on the handoff, but it does stay in the belly for a moment. Came out there right at the end. I think they had already blown the whistle. And Jametto Bigbo hopped on top of it as Jarvis Reed had it break loose of his hands momentarily. Maybe a gain of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 2.
I think Walker wanted to pull it right there and hit Titus Evans on a quick post up top. It's one of those common RPO run pass option plays right there, Mike, trying to pick apart this linebacking core for Flower Mound.
Bryson Mitchell on YouTube in our comment stream saying one of the best D linemen in America, Terrell Tillman is. Ball through the hands of the quarterback, Evans. Able to get back on top of, beg your pardon, it was Walker still in there at quarterback. He couldn't handle the snap. It was maybe a bit wide to his left. And that is a, frankly, debilitating play on what was 3rd and short. Turns it into 4th down now and 13.
Oh, yeah, very, very crucial play right here, Mike, on 4th down and 13. I mean, I assume that it's very difficult to kick into this strong wind here tonight. So they have to take a shot right here on 4th down.
Not easy to throw into it either, but Walker's going to try and do so. Coming near side and nowhere near his intended target. So maybe some miscommunication there as he tried to find DeMarcus Isaac in the end zone. And a turnover on down, so Mansfield Timberview not able to do anything with the big turnover created by Terrell Tillman.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, just that fumble snap on 3rd down. I mean, you can't have any mistakes like that, any penalties, any fumble snaps, anything that will send you backwards on 3rd down. I mean, that is a huge, huge, huge loss right there for the Wolves right there on 3rd down.
Thank you for sponsoring Jaguar football.
Things were looking good for Timberview at the start of that possession. Couple of nice carries that were close to 1st down yardage, but the fumbled snap on 3rd down leads to 4th and 13, and they can't convert, and it goes back over to Flower Mound. So here comes Evers again with Tillman in his face. They set up the screen to try and combat the pressure. It doesn't do much. Flag on the play is the pass went to DJ Connie, and he was met with a face full of Timberview defense. Flag on the play, it's a hold, and they will decline the penalty and take the result of the play as they did lose a yard. They'll take 2nd and 11 over 1st and 20, will the Timberview defense. Bernard Gray, our referee tonight. Eric Horton, his umpire. David Simonik, the head linesman. Rodney Johnson, the line judge. Jason Numero, the back judge. Side judge Mike Wilson, and the field judge is Thomas Wooten on our 7-man crew tonight. Just shy of 5 minutes into quarter number 1 here from Flower Mound, and 2nd and 11 for Nick Evers, rolling left and taken down from behind once again. Kenyatta Smith coming from his linebacker position and creating the pressure. That'll go down as another sack, and it'll be 3rd and a dozen.
I mean, Kenyatta Smith right here just getting out of all of that traffic there in the middle and using his nice long arms, as Coach Brown liked to say, to bring the quarterback down right there on 2nd down. This is a huge 3rd down play for Flower Mound right here, Mike. Let's see what they dial up. I assume that they're going to take a shot.
Evers barking out signals to his offensive line. He's got 3 wides to the bottom of the formation, as you can see on the left side of your screen there. Pressure again. Doesn't get it off. Will they call that a fumble again? No, they're going to say that was an incomplete pass. Our referee coming from behind saying that ball was out of his hand and is an incomplete pass, but only just barely, nearly Mansfield Timberview creating havoc again. We'll see if the ruling was correct here.
That's close.
It's very close. It's very close. We'll defer to the official that's standing right there 5 feet away from the play, but it was very close to another strip sack on 3rd down. Instead, Flower Mound will punt it away. 2 men deep to return for Timberview, and calling for the fair catch rather at the 40 and making it is Todrick Dixon. So far, somewhat to script. The defense is making plays in the early going. Flower Mound's defense at least standing tall when they were faced with a short field rather to defend, and certainly Mansfield Timberview's defense has not allowed Flower Mound to do anything yet.
Absolutely, Mike. On that 3rd down right there, that was their other stud defensive end, Ram Stevenson. He is a Washington State commit. I mean, and he had double-digit sacks last year, and so that is no surprise to me that he's able to get around that edge and make a big play on 3rd down.
So 1st and 10, it's back to Simeon Evans out on the field. And again, the handoff on the first play of the drive as it goes to Deuce Jones. Bowling his way forward for a few. And another flag down. Tay Jams in the comment. That's his YouTube username anyway. I don't know if it's his real name, but Tay Jams on the YouTube comment stream says he's watching from Florida. Said he felt bored. Said he decided to tune in some football. He asks, what state is this? This is Texas, Tay. As the flag goes against Flower Mound. And that will bring the ball rather into Flower Mound territory down to the 42. I don't know if you can hear it on the broadcast, but it is windy here in Flower Mound, at least where we are. It probably isn't quite as bad down on the field. We're a little higher above the playing surface for sure. But wind is a factor tonight, certainly in the passing and kicking game. Evans pulls it, fires right side, incomplete. That came in and out of the hands of his intended target on the right-hand side. That's Titus Evans.
Right there, another run-pass option play, trying to hit his younger brother, Titus. Right there, running a nice little 10-yard stop is what we like to call it, trying to get the ball out on the edge. But again, just dropped right there by Titus.
So 2nd and 10 from the 42. Friday Night Football here on the WFAA YouTube channel. Mike Leslie and John Diar's here with you as Deuce Jones gets the handoff and with a head of steam just bowling defenders over. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
Again, Mike, just classic example of what we call a load. Just coming through the hole right there, putting his shoulders down, getting north and south, and just falling forward. That's something that you'll hear all the time a running back coach say, tell his guys to always fall forward whenever you meet contact. And so that's a great job of Deuce Jones right there of picking up a big 2nd down play.
So 3rd and 1 now makes it quite a bit more manageable. Jones takes it. Beg your pardon, I think it was Ty Hawthorne carrying for the first time today. And that will be more than enough for a 1st down. Beg your pardon, Ricky Madison, 26, not 20. A cadre of running backs for Mansfield Timberview, and they'll run all of them. Flags before the snap here, before they try and hustle back to the line of scrimmage. And it'll be a false start against Timberview, so a bit too fast for themselves.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, I would much rather take the big hit by Stone Eby right there rather than to lose 5 yards on the 1st down. But I mean, this Timberview offense just has to find a way to stay on rhythm, stay on track. Getting behind the chains is not something that you want to do early. That is just putting a wrench in your path right there, just kind of slowing yourself down, staying behind the chains.
So make it 1st and 15. 4.5 to play, 1st quarter here on Friday Night Football. Handoff left this side. Down to the 30. Mansfield Timberview was supposed to play a game last week against Red Oak. Would have been one of the better games in the state, certainly across the 5A level. But that game got canceled due to COVID-19 concerns within the Red Oak program. It is something, frankly, John, that we have seen all across the state over the course of, especially this week. We've seen it all through the last 3 or 4 weeks, but this week it has mushroomed in a big way. Dozens of games around the state have been canceled. Frankly, this game is fortunate to be happening right now. And I don't mean that there's anything wrong with either of these 2 programs. I'm just saying that they're lucky to be one of those, 2 of these programs that don't have an issue right now and are able to play a game right now. Denton Ryan, a team that we saw just last week here on Friday Night Football, they are now, they've shut their program down for 2 weeks. It's a problem right now, and frankly, I'm not sure what the solution is short of not playing football. That isn't what anybody wants to hear. That's not what anybody wants to have happen. But it may be going in that direction. We'll see. 3rd down and 13 now. Evans is going to come near side and try and run for it. He's got the corner, tiptoeing up the sideline, cuts back inside, and he's got the 1st down. Simeon Evans showing off what he can do with the wheels, and he picks up the 1st.
That was a huge play right there on 3rd and 13 for him to scramble for that 1st down. But that is exactly what Coach Brown was telling us earlier this week, that this kid can extend plays. This kid has pretty good feet, and he can make plays happen. And right there, I mean, you just saw it done excellently by Evans.
So a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 at the 12. And Evans has 4 wide receivers. Back in the backfield with him is Jarvis Reed. Run pass option comes near side, and it's incomplete, thrown at the feet of Baron Loftus.
It's getting pretty tough to throw in that wind, Mike. They're trying to get that run pass option thing going right there with a little bubble screen. But again, I mean, it's pretty windy up here where we are, and I could assume that the wind is kind of showing its way down there on the field as well. And so it's making it really tough to get these passes off.
2 backs in the backfield now with Evans on 2nd down and 10. Handoff right, Jones. Flag on the play. Jones broke the first tackle, but a nice job by the Flower Mound defense to just hang on for dear life. Joey Lukash got a piece of him and I think he just kind of held on to thigh pad and didn't let go. We'll check the flag here. That's going to be a chop block against Mansfield Timberview. So this is now twice. 2 big. First, it was the fumbled snap that turned 3rd and short into 4th and a mile. And now a 15-yard penalty for the chop block against Mansfield Timberview. And what should have been 2nd down and about 7 inside the 10-yard line now is 2nd and, gosh, do the math quick, 24? 2nd and 24 from the 26-yard line.
Pretty deep, I must say.
And that play goes nowhere. Well defended by the corner on that side. Ryan McDavid, their nickel corner, coming through to make the tackle. And that'll go down as a loss of a couple, and it's 3rd and forever.
Had a little miscommunication right there, Mike. I'm not sure if Deuce thought the screen was to him or if the receiver thought the screen was to him. Just a little bit of miscommunication. But again, I mean, they have to stay on schedule here offensively. I mean, you are literally putting yourself in a pit, having, multiple fumble snaps and penalties, just putting you further and further behind the chain. So this is a huge 3rd down right here.
Call it 3rd and 28. They have to get to the 2. Evans on the quarterback draw isn't going to get much. It doesn't appear anyway. Did a nice job to break a couple of tackles and get to the outside. But just a pickup of a few, and it'll be 4th and 24.
Trying to get a draw right there, trying to get in behind Deuce Jones and the big fellas up front. But somehow, some way, there was a little bit of stoppage right there at the line of scrimmage and just kind of made it hard for Evans to get through cleanly. But here we are, 4th down, 4th and 24. I mean, I would assume that they're going to try to take a shot to the end zone. That is the only chance that they have. But this Flower Mound defense has a pretty studded back end here, and they're going to play 2 high safeties to try to cover this thing up.
So 4th and 24 again, a deep ball left side, looking into the end zone, and incomplete. Twice now he's tried to go up top for DeMarcus Isaac on 4th and long. Well, the first one was actually Xavier Walker looking deep. This time it was Evans, both of them trying to go to the same man, but it falls incomplete. And again, a 4th down stop, a turnover on downs created by this Flower Mound defense. They've been put in some disadvantageous positions, but they've been up to the task so far each time, and it stays scoreless.
Absolutely, just finding a way to get off the field, Mike, and that is just a great testament of those guys playing together, being on the same page. This Timberview offense has to find a way to stay on schedule and stay ahead of the chains.
So it goes back to Flower Mound, and here comes Evers again trying to make something happen. They have not moved the football yet. They're going to try and go to the ground and see if they can find some movement of any kind. Evers and Andrew Moss, the 2 starters in the backfield for Flower Mound. Landon Widener, Caden Jensen, Isaac Carpenter, Parker Clark. Their 4 wide receiver starters. Seth Wyndham, Sean Kinzer, Nate Adams, Dylan Ty, and Sullivan Martin. Their starters across the offensive line, left to right. 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard carry, and now Evers is going to take it himself on the quarterback draw, pick up another maybe 4, and set up 3rd down and 2. So this is at least positive momentum for the Flower Mound offense, which is more than we've seen in their first 2 offensive possessions. We mentioned Terrell Tillman, how fantastic he is. Ram Stevenson, the other defensive end, both of them Pac-12 commits, bookending the Mansfield Timberview defensive line. Tillman going to Oregon, Stevenson to Washington State. Armani Cathy, their defensive tackle starter in the middle of those two. Tristan McDonald, Javion Artist, Amandre Green, Kenyatta Smith, the 4 starters at the linebacker positions for Timberview, as Evers is going to take it himself once again, and very close to first down yardage on 3rd and 3. It's going to depend on the spot here. It's very, very close.
Really close here, Mike. Really, really close.
Referee still eyeballing it, and finally do officially say first down. Finally, to finish up the Timberwolves defense, the Timberview Wolves defense, Neva Nyangaresi, the starting corner opposite Todrick Dixon. As they swing it on the left-hand side, that's incomplete, in and out of the hands of DJ Connie. Trey Jones and Landon Hullaby, 2 of the better safeties in the area. Hullaby, one of the best safeties in the country, just a junior, a 3-star product, depending on who you ask, verging on a 4-star product, has offers all over the place, 27 of them in total. He's fantastic. We'll talk more about him over the course of the night, but that is the starting defense for the Timberview Wolves. 18 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. Possibly the final snap of the period. Evers over the middle. Nice catch. And the first connection so far today for the Flower Mound offense in the passing game. On the reception, Walker Mulkey, the sophomore. They really like this kid. They like his future. And he makes a big play there to get Flower Mound into Timberview territory for the first time tonight.
Here they go, Mike, going fast. This is what they like to do, try to get down the field in a hurry.
Evers over the middle, incomplete, looking for Parker Clark. But, yeah, they want to keep the pace high. Offensive coordinator Scott Grantham, I asked head coach Brian Basil about him. He said he wants to go fast. that is the first topic of conversation when it comes to offensive coordinator Scott Grantham and the Flower Mound offense. Flag on the play will slow them down for a moment. Looks like it's going to be a false start against the Jaguars. No, they change. It's a neutral zone infraction and encroachment against Mansfield Timberview. Either that or maybe he just signaled incorrectly, because the far side official definitely said false start. The ball moved backward 5 yards, but our referee signaled that it was against the defense. Either way, the ultimate result is that it is 2nd down and 15. 3 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. This likely will be the final play of the opening period as Evers looks to the left. Pressure in his face, makes one man miss, but can't get back to the original line of scrimmage. Another sack for the Timberview defense, and a fitting way for the first period to come to a close. Scoreless after 1, and an impressive start for both teams' defenses. Second quarter after this on Friday Night Football. Back on Friday Night Football, scoreless after 1 between Mansfield Timberview and Flower Mound. Timberview, the number 7 team in the state in 5A Division II. Flower Mound, a team expected to challenge for a playoff spot in District 6A. So a good challenge for both of these teams in non-district, John, to just test a little bit and see where they are before they start district play next week. Timberview starts off with Cleburne 1 week from today. Flower Mound has next week off, but then plays their rival Flower Mound Marcus 2 weeks from tonight. Evers on 3rd down and long, had to try and run for it. Got back into Timberview territory and close to the original line of scrimmage on this set of downs, but it is 4th, and they'll call it a dozen, and they'll have to punt.
Mike, I don't know how much time he's going to have in that pocket tonight, Mike. I mean, Stevenson and Tillman are just getting off the ball so fast, cranking out that edge and getting to the quarterback and making him get out of the pocket and evade and try to get the ball down the field. But I'm not sure how much time he's going to have tonight, Mike.
So back comes Burt Auburn, one of the real weapons for this Flower Mound program. And this is a high spiraling punt that lands at the 1 but does bounce into the end zone. One of the best kickers and punters around the state, Auburn is, but this one he won't be happy with because the ultimate result is a touchback, and Timberview will come out to the 20. So back comes Timberview once again. Neither offense able to get much going, but the Wolves have been at least the better of the two offenses thus far. They've moved it some, and here on the jet motion, it's Loftus, and he's got some running room and some blockers. First down and then some. A good start to the drive for Mansfield Timberview, and in fact, it's 18 Zach Phillips coming around the near side and picking up some blocks.
Coach Brown did tell us earlier in the week that Phillips is dynamic with the ball in his hands, and right there you can see him get around the edge on a nice little jet sweep with some blockers out in front. And this Timberview offense is starting to kind of move the ball a little bit, Mike.
Snap again goes past Xavion Walker, and he's got to just pounce on top of it. And again, a big loss for this Timberview offense. They have not been able to solve that problem. Moses Escalante, the center, and Walker, the quarterback, talking a little bit there after the play, trying to figure out what the issue is. But again, a massive loss that basically brings them back to where they were to start the drive for all intents and purposes, and it's 2nd and 26. Swing it left-hand side, dangerous play, and there it is. Stone Eby making the play in the backfield. They try and swing it out to Jarvis Reed, and that was backward, John. That could have been real dicey.
Yeah, that could have been bad.
Very clearly a backward pass. That could have been a live football. They're fortunate that Reed caught it, but what a play by Eby.
Absolutely. I mean, we see why the SMU Mustangs love this kid. I mean, he has a great sense of where the ball is moving, and right there, I mean, even in mid-rush, he was able to track that running back down in the backfield and make a big play right there on 2nd down. And now it's 3rd and forever for the Wolves right now, Mike. And we just gotta assume that they're going to try to get the ball to maybe Isaac once again. They've been trying to get him downfield all game.
3rd and 36, and instead they'll elect to just hand it off to Reed. We'll see how much he can gain here as he comes to the near sideline. A nice run by the 5'11 sophomore, getting all the way out across the 30-yard line. Some hidden, sneaky yards there for Mansfield Timberview. That helps flip field position. Yep. They basically just added 20 yards to their punt right there. That's a big play, even though it doesn't gain the first down.
For sure. I mean, just keeping it safe right there, just handing the ball off and trying to see if we can get it. I mean, like you said, Mike, I mean, very, very sneaky yardage right here for your special teams to try to flip the field here. But, again, I mean, This Timberview offense has to find a way to get this snap thing down, I mean, because it is costing them big time.
Already on 2 different possessions, it has cost them yardage in a big way, and at least the first one cost them a real scoring opportunity. They were facing 3rd down and 2. Who knows what would have happened on that play had the snap been solid. And then what are you going to do with 4th and 13? Just had to throw up a jump ball, and it fell incomplete. Timberview's had some opportunities to score here. That was certainly their best among them. But some bad snaps have doomed them thus far. Rugby punt from Andre Williams. High in the air. Lands just across midfield. There's a flag on the play, and down on the field is Flower Mound's punt returner, Chase McCall. Back up on his feet now. He was kind of rolling around there for a moment. Looked like he was in a lot of pain, but good to see him pop back up. But there is a flag down. He may have taken a shot that he shouldn't have. Yeah. We'll see what our officiating crew sorts out here. 9:35 to play, 2nd quarter. Still scoreless here from Wilson Stadium in Flower Mound. Mike Leslie and John Diarce here with you. Our photographer this evening is Dwayne Watkins. Our director, Clay Marshall. Our digital coordinator back in-house, Nick Blackhall. Our technical director for Friday Night Football is Don Hazen. And our executive producer is Sean Hamilton. Kick-catch interference is the call, according to our referee, Bernard Gray. So that will set up very good field position for Flower Mound. They have only just briefly been in Mansfield Timberview territory tonight, but they will start this possession in Timberview territory at the 44. So a big opportunity here for the Jaguars.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are on the other side of the 50, I mean, in scoring range. And so you would like to think that this Flower Mound offense is going to try to move the ball here. They are a really fast-paced offense. And let's see, Mike. Let's see if they can get something going.
Nick Evers rolling right, flag down.
Coming back on the holding.
The entire crew of fans from Mansfield Timberview in front of us. We are on the visitor side tonight in the bleachers, and all of them saw that hold. We had about 75 officials helping out the ones in stripes on the field right in front of us. And indeed, it is a hold, and that will come back. 600 of you watching with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please share this stream around. Post it on your Twitter feeds, on Facebook, wherever you may want to. Send it around to your friends and family in the Flower Mound or Timberview, Mansfield communities. Let them know that they can tune in tonight for this football game and what has so far been a very entertaining defensive struggle. We'll see if either of these offenses can get unlocked at some point. Whistles before the snap. It looks like this one will go against the Timberview defense, and maybe 5 of those yards will be given back. And it is indeed an encroachment against the Timberview defense. So 1st and 20 becomes 1st and 15. And so far in this drive, we've yet to see an official play. Swing it right side. Nicely set up. Nice throw and catch. And with some speed on the outside comes DJ Connie, and he picks up a big chunk. And they're down to the 40. And now quickly back to the line of scrimmage comes Flower Mound once again. 2nd and 6 after the pickup of 9. Evers keeps it himself on the read option and maybe gains another couple.
Yeah, right there. 2 back-to-back plays right there, Mike, trying to get this this Timberview defense catching them off guard and not being able to communicate because of the tempo of this offense. Flower Mound is moving the ball just a tad bit, trying to get this thing going.
Quick throw right side. Evers in and out of the hands of his intended target. Parker Clark couldn't squeeze it. And it'll be 4th and 4.
Great play by Trey Jones, the twin brother of Deuce Jones, actually, coming in right there and making a save right there. A big-time play on 3rd down, breaking up that pass.
Now, I was told earlier this week that they feel like Burt Auburn has range out to 55. No, they're going to have him come out and punt. They're not going to have him try and kick it. This would be a 55-yard field goal from right here. They would spot it at the 45, but they're not going to take that chance right now. They'll have Auburn punt it away and try and pin him deep. And look at that punt check up inside the 2-yard line.
Wow.
That checked up like a sand wedge and stayed put right inside the 2, downed at the 1. This is perfectly done by Burt Auburn and the coverage team from Flower Mound.
Absolutely great job right there by the punt team. I mean, just fielding that ball right there inside the 5. I mean, but these are the plays that can make or break a game right here, Mike, by your special teams getting the ball inside the 5. And we know about the great leg of their punter right there, and he showed his abilities right there, putting the ball inside the 5, making it very difficult now for this Timberview offense to kind of get out of their own danger zone here. Hopefully they can get something going on this drive to give themselves some kind of breathing room.
Perfect technique from Auburn, too. Nose of the football down to create that backspin, and it checked up perfectly. Handoff to Deuce Jones as they did snap that from inside their own 1-yard line. He was able to get out of the end zone, maybe gained a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 9.
All 11 blue shirts trying to get him back in that end zone. I mean, and it's going to take more than one man to get Deuce Jones down, as he is a load carrying the ball right there trying to get out of this danger zone for the Timberview offense.
Late coming on the field, the 11th man for the Mansfield Timberview offense. That was Samir Dolly getting the play from Simeon Rice. I beg your pardon, Simeon Evans. Evans is going to keep it himself. Running around left edge. He's got some blockers on the left edge, and look at him go. Flag is down behind the play. That may bring all of this back, but Simeon Evans has maybe done his best work with his feet so far tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Just running a read option right there, trying to put Stone Eby in a heck of a position to defend either the quarterback or running back. And Evans just using his speed and his vision to get around on the edge. But we might have a flag to bring it all back.
Certainly was thrown in the area of where you'd expect a hold to be on the outside, one of the wide receivers for Timberview. And given that that both units are walking backward, certainly appears that it's going to go that way. It is indeed a hold against the Timberview offense. It'll be interesting to see where they spot this. Okay, they're going to put it at the 5. So despite the penalty, they do at least get a little bit more space because of the nice run from Evans. The flag happened at the 15, so the 10-yard penalty brings it back to the 5, and it'll be second down once again, 2nd and 6. Well, now they're going to move it forward a couple more yards. Second and about 3 from just outside the 7. And now whistles again. And this is going to be a timeout called by Timberview, their first timeout of the half. This has been a herky-jerky last 2 or 3 minutes or so of this football game. But it's hard to blame Timberview for being in that space right now because they are in the shadow of their own end zone. They're just trying to figure out what to do to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, they have to draw up something right here in this timeout to just give themselves some more breathing room. This is 2nd and short right here, and I believe that they have a lot in Deuce Jones being able to get him the ball and get him upfield, and even in Evans running a read option right there and pulling it on the last play. I mean, so they have multiple options and multiple weapons to get out of the danger zone, Mike, but somehow they have to stay on course. They have to stay on schedule, and that has tripped them up in the past. But maybe this timeout was to kind of reset everything and get this offense going in the right direction.
We had a comment here from Mike Williams on the YouTube stream saying, and this is maybe the perfect comment given how much of a defensive struggle this has been so far. Timberview pinned back deep in their own territory. He said, you know, a safety could win it. We'll see what Timberview's got here on 2nd down and 3. Handed off near side for Jarvis Reed. Slung down from behind, or at least held on to from behind by Joey Lukash. Timberview sideline appeared to want a flag here for a horse collar of some sort. No flag flies, no gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I mean he has his hands right there around the neck, Mike. I mean, maybe a missed call right there by the officials down.
So now 3rd and 3. Ball sits at the 8. They've got to get basically just inside of the 11-yard line, not quite to the 11, to pick up a first down. Evans, handoff to Reed. He's got the first down and then some, staying on his feet across the 20. Dragging tacklers down to the 30-yard line. A nice run by the sophomore Jarvis Reed.
Great run right there by Jarvis Reed. Coach Brown told us earlier this week that Reed is their change of pace back. He has a little bit of speed. He can get north and south in a hurry. Maybe not as elusive as they would like, but he is a change of pace back when compared to Deuce Jones. And right there, I mean, just getting up and down the field, north and south, and picking up a big first down.
And credit to the Timberview offense to get out of that situation. That ball was inside their own 1 after a fantastic punt from Burt Auburn. But now they've got 1st and 10 at the 31. Evans, handoff, Jones. Big hole and lowering his shoulder across the 45-yard line.
Yeah, there it is right there, the 1-2 punch by Deuce Jones. I mean, getting outside on the perimeter and getting north and south in a hurry and just, as he knows to do, get his shoulders down and just run through any kind of tackler that's going to try to get in his way. And it's just a big run right there for a first down.
Mondre Hogg, their starting fullback, and what a perfect name, by the way, Hogg for a fullback, coming through the hole and leading the way for Deuce Jones. He had nobody in his way. You knew that play was going to be a big play when the fullback could run free before he could even find a blocker.
Yeah.
1st and 10, they're going to go to the air. Deep ball, a bit too far for Samir Dolly.
Nice changeup right there on first down, trying to take a shot, Mike, trying to get it to their tight end right there on a nice little play action. But as we alluded to earlier, this wind here in the stadium is just kind of making it difficult to get the ball up and down to the receivers. And so just a little bit too much, and I'm pretty sure that had something to do with the wind right there, kind of carrying the ball right there on first down.
So it sets up 2nd and 10 from the 47. Past the midway point of the second quarter and still no score here between Flower Mound and Mansfield Timberview, but Zach Phillips and the Wolves trying to make something happen here on 2nd and 10. Pickup of about, give him 6 on the play. Makes third down a bit more manageable.
Yeah, I mean, just pretty good, solid play calls right here by their offensive coordinator, Robert DeSanto, trying to find some rhythm, some pace on the edge. And so far they've been successful getting the ball on the edge, whether it's been their receivers coming in a jet sweep motion or getting the ball to Deuce and Reed right there getting on the edge. They are having success on the perimeter, but this is a big third down right here.
Flower Mound's been good at getting off the field when they need to. Another low snap, but Evans is able to pick it up. Tries to run forward himself. It's going to be close. I think he's a hair short, and it's going to be 4th down. Flower Mound came out of the pile saying they had the football. They do move the spot back to the 44-yard line. That's definitely short of the line to gain by basically a full yard. But it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the football field here and try and go for it, John.
I could believe it. I mean, Reed has been having success back there in the backfield, getting north and south in a hurry. And I want to see, I'm interested to see if they're going to kind of run a Reed option here again.
Tristan McDonald, the lead back. Reed in the backfield, gets the handoff, cuts upfield, 1st down.
Yep, just like we expected right there. Evans and Reed running the Reed option, trying to read their defense in, and Reed just doing what he does best, getting north and south in a hurry and picking up their 1st down.
We have seen Timberview move the football with some success tonight. They just haven't been able to finish drives thus far. Now they've got 1st and 10 at the 39 on Flower Mound side of the field. We'll see if they can build on this further with now 4 minutes to play in quarter number 2. And another flag and a false start, as if on cue, right as it looks like Timberview's starting to get something going. This has been their issue tonight, either flags or snaps that have gone awry for Xavier Walker. Whatever the case may be, something has tripped them up as they've tried to make their way down the field and made things, frankly, a little easier for the Flower Mound defense to make the play they need to in a key spot.
Absolutely. They are struggling right now, Mike, to just stay on schedule and stay ahead of the chains. And I mean, that just makes your play calling a little bit more limited when you have to start with 1st and 15 on a big-time drive right here by Timberview.
So 1st and 15, they'll go to the air. Near side, Baron Loftus makes the first man miss. Inside the 35 and down to the 30. Nice play by the senior wide receiver to earn back a big chunk of it, and it'll be 2nd and short.
Great play call right there. They recognize that Flower Mound is a big-time block right there. But they are recognizing that Flower Mound is trying to stack the box with as many defenders as they can to slow down this running game. But that was a great call to get their ball out on the perimeter again with a little bubble screen, just kind of giving them a change of pace right there, and a big first down play right there.
Final 3 minutes of quarter number 2. 2nd down and 1 here for Evans. Has a man over the middle, finds him complete, big hit, but he hangs on. Nice catch over the middle by Loftus. And they move the sticks once again. 1st and goal, Mansfield Timberview. Oh, beg your pardon, they're going to walk it back to the 12. So 1st and 10 from the 12.
Yes, Mike Loftus is a very, very, very talented kid. According to Coach Brown, he is an exceptional. And they've been trying to get him the ball a lot more here lately because he can do damage with the ball in his hands. And right there, you can see he has no problem catching the ball in traffic.
High snap, but they bring it down. Jones inside the 5, finally dragged down by the Flower Mound defense, but close to 1st down yardage.
Nice window dressing right there, bringing the guy in motion and handing it off to Deuce Jones right there. And getting right there inside the 5, Mike. This may be the drive to actually get this offense going because they have had a troubling trouble of staying on schedule. But right here, this drive looks promising and potentially could put some points on the board, Mike.
2nd down and 2 from the 4. Certainly the best chance so far for either team today to score. Jones takes the handoff right side into the end zone. Touchdown, Timberview.
There he is right there, Mike. Just keep giving it to the hot man and your man Deuce Jones and get behind him right there inside the 5. And, again, just getting north and south right there and getting his shoulders down and running through tacklers right there for a touchdown.
Jones and Jarvis Reed, Simeon Evans, all three of them carrying and making big plays on this drive. The big connection over the middle just a moment ago to Baron Loftus. A very nice drive. The PAT is blocked, though. Blocked, and here comes Flower Mound. This is an opportunity for points. Chasing him down from behind, though. What a play by Terrell Tillman.
Big, long, rangy man. And again, Mike, outside of football, on the track, he is a 110 and 300 hurdle runner. So he can cover some ground in a hurry.
So it stays 6-0 after the block PAT. Nice play by the Flower Mound special teams to make an impact in a big spot there. But it is Deuce Jones with the 4-yard touchdown run to cap off the drive. And finally, somebody has found the end zone, found points in any way, shape, or form tonight as Timberview drives the field. And don't forget, by the way, a 99-yard drive. 99 and a third, I would even argue, yard drive. That a 298-yard drive, if you will, all the way down the field after the brilliant punt from Burt Auburn. Pinned them deep inside their own 1-yard line, but Timberview was up to the task, drove the length of the field, and they take a 6-0 lead late here in the second quarter. Fair catch called for and made by Flower Mound. Christian Clatterbaugh making the fair catch, and 149 to work with for Nick Evers and company, and they can go to the air. We'll see, maybe they can make something happen here in the late going.
Yeah, you're inside the 2 minutes, last 2 minutes of the half right here. You would think that this Flower Mound offense would try to move the ball in a hurry, and they are used to spreading out 4 wides at a time. And right here, we get to see the young man Nick Evers go to work in an empty set right here.
Man motions into the backfield, and they do hand it off. That's DJ Connie carrying for, give him 2. 100 seconds to play in quarter number 2. Now, it will be Flower Mound ball to start the second half, so perhaps that's part of why there may not be a huge sense of urgency, at least not yet from Flower Mound, but it is just second down. We'll see what they draw up here. They are going to go deep now, up the seam, and just a bit too far. Just beyond the outstretched fingertips of Walker Mulkey. That could have been a big play.
Absolutely, Mike. Just trying to get the ball right there, trying to thread a needle against his coverage. But, again, throwing into the wind now. It's going to be a challenge for Evers in the offense of trying to get this ball down here into the end zone in the last minute and a half of this first half.
We're up to 700 of you watching with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Stick with us at halftime. We'll bring you the show from the Flower Mound High School Band under the direction of Brent Biskup. That's coming up in just a few minutes here on Friday Night Football. We try and bring you the entire Friday Night Lights experience. Man in motion across the formation, 4 wides for Evers. Looking deep over the middle, contact, no flag. And it'll be 4th down and 9. Arms outstretched on the far sideline as if to say, how is that not a flag? But no laundering on the field, and Flower Mound will have to punt it.
Yeah, big-time play right there on 3rd down to just play a 2 safeties soft shell defense right there on 3rd down, Mike, to try to stop this air attack by Flower Mound. And, again, just giving this Timberview offense another chance to move the ball down the field before the end of this first half.
Auburn, sky-high, spiraling punt. There is a flag down behind the play. A couple of flags down, in fact, as the return comes all the way close to midfield. There's a flag down at the 26-yard line, way behind even where the punt was caught, and then another flag at the 48-yard line. There's a bit for the officials to sort out here with 1:06 to play in quarter number 2. John, on a night like this where the offense just isn't clicking, I don't know how much you can impact it as a wide receiver necessarily. You know, if especially on a windy night like this, that makes it even more difficult. But what's the approach? What's the mentality to try and kind of unlock the offense and finally get something rolling?
I think for this Timberview offense, I think to continue to pound the running game. They had a lot of success here on the perimeter, moving the ball up and down the field with their with Reed in the backfield and Deuce Jones in the backfield as well as Evans. But I mean, as far as the passing attack goes, you have to get this defense to add more guys into the box, and so we can get behind the defensive Flower Mound. But on a windy night like this, it definitely makes it tough, Mike, to get the passes up and down. And so these receivers are going to have to adjust to the elements. They're going to have to kind of get their eyes around a little bit sooner so they can time up the passes and try to judge the ball a lot sooner. Because, again, this wind, this late October or this early October wind, is just affecting the passes just a little bit too much.
A lot to explain on the far side to Brian Basil, the head coach from Flower Mound. It appears both of the flags were against. Okay, both flags were indeed against Mansfield Timberview. They're saying the first flag was for what was announced by the public address announcer in-house was illegal participation. I believe they probably had 12 men on the field. That was why the flag came down well behind the play. They decline that penalty. They take the block and the back penalty, and that will walk everything back. We'll see exactly to where. They're going to spot it at the 31-yard line, and that's where Timberview's offense will, after all of that, take over on 1st and 10. Minute and 6 to work with here. Timberview's an offense that historically has been very ground-oriented. Simeon Evans has changed that a little bit in the first couple weeks of the season. He's shown an ability to throw it around, and they've got him out here with a 1:06 to play and maybe an opportunity to make something happen before halftime. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to try and run for it. He's done a bit of this today as well. Steps out of bounds at the 42.
Just evading the pocket right there, Mike, everything kind of breaking down, and then he gets a big block from his man Loftus right there on the edge of just creating 2 or 3 more yards for him to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
And that's the most important part. Stops the clock with 59 seconds to play in quarter number 2. Steps up, throwing over the middle, tipped and incomplete.
Got a flag down. May have a little bit of roughing the passer right there.
Evans did get up, kind of winding his arm and trying to kind of shake it off. We'll see what our referee has to say here, but that would certainly appear to be the initial indication as they are already stepping it off. Yes, indeed, a big penalty here, roughing the passer. And it's going to bring the ball all the way into Flower Mound territory, spotted at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, Mansfield Timberview. And with 54 seconds to work with, now a real opportunity here for the Wolves offense.
Yeah, that definitely gives this Wolves offense a chance to put more points on the board before the end of this half, and just a big-time penalty that you cannot have by this Flower Mound defense.
Evans all day looking deep up the seam. Had 2 receivers down there, incomplete as he tried to hit Baron Loftus. They also had, I believe it was Titus Evans, the other wide receiver, that was deep downfield right near him. I have to imagine the route combination wasn't designed to have the 2 of them be that close on the field. But
Never at all, Mike. You never want to have 2 receivers in the same spot. It causes a lot of confusion. I've been in a number of situations like that myself, Mike.
John Diarse, our color commentator here on Friday Night Football, played at TCU and LSU, played wide receiver. High snap here for Evans. He pulls it down, fires left side, complete. That looks to be enough for a first down, and they will stop the clock. 38 seconds to play here in the second quarter, and they'll race forward. They'll hold them up before they snap it here as they set the sticks, and they're right back to it. Evans looking end zone, has a man behind the defense. He sent it a little bit too far. Had a man open deep. It was Zach Phillips, but overshot him just barely.
Just barely. I think Zach may have checked up a little bit. He thought Evans may take off to get another first down or so, but just a little bit too much on that pass by Evans. But again, I mean, you're going with the wind, it feels like. So he has to kind of take a little bit off that ball, as it will kind of carry another 3 or 4 yards with the help of the elements.
So 2nd down and 10, 27 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Evans
Ooh.
Nearly intercepted, knocked away by Landon Colby, the middle linebacker. He was a half step away from being able to pick that off, and he would have rumbled for a while.
Great play right there. Just a great job of Kobe just feeling his way around in space right there. And that's something that you love as a defensive coordinator for your linebackers to do against a passing attack like this. It's just for your linebackers to be familiar with what's around them and have some instincts to play the ball.
Timberview head coach James Brown said their kicker 10 win has range out to 35 to 40 yards, so they got a little bit of work to do from that perspective. Has a man up the seam, in and out of the hands of a wide open wide receiver. I mean, you didn't get more open than that. Jarvis Reed coming out of the backfield. Evans lofted it to him perfectly, and it clanked off his shoulder pads, incomplete. And it's 4th down and 10.
Oh, man, Mike. I mean, you just walking into the end zone just untouched, nobody around. But Reed just took his eyes off the ball just a little too soon. I think he kind of surprised himself coming out the backfield and being there wide open. And so big 4th down play right here. Got to take a shot for a 1st down somehow, some way.
Evans over the middle again. Again has a man open, complete. This time they hang on. It's 1st and 10, 9 seconds to play. It's Andre Williams making the catch at the 8-yard line. Took a big hit, and now a timeout called by Mansfield Timberview. That is their 2nd timeout taken of the half. Frankly, they've done a nice job of matriculating down the field without having to use their timeouts. They've either picked up 1st downs and stopped the clock or gotten out of bounds. They haven't had to use the 2 timeouts they had left to start this possession. Now they finally used one, and they've got 1st and goal from the 7 with 9 seconds.
Yeah, Mike, that's just a great testament of how aware and how mature your quarterback is when he can make great decisions like that, getting up and down the field, stopping the clock when he can, taking the short passes when he has it, taking a shot when he has it. And so, I mean, that's just the maturity and the quarterback IQ by Simeon Evans right there, senior quarterback, just making the right decisions. And I mean, they are super duper important whenever you're inside a 2-minute or 2-minute offense, like as we like to speak, Mike, of just making the right decisions, getting the ball down, getting the ball set up, and giving them chances. So giving themselves a chance to put points up on the board right here before the end of the half.
So now, do you think 9 seconds is enough time for 2 shots?
I think so. It's going to have to be quick, though, Mike. It's got to be quick. The ball has got to be up and down.
I guess it depends
really
on whether or not you have any designs on a field goal if the 1st or 2nd opportunity doesn't work as you try to go to the end zone. Here comes Evans at a shotgun.
Take a
Throwing
shot.
It deep corner.
Oh, wow.
Yes, indeed, he got his feet in bounds. Touchdown, Mansfield Timberview. A brilliant drive to finish the half.
Just a great play design right there, getting their man Andre Williams in the back of the end zone on a nice corner route. A smash concept is what we like to call it, but just dropping it in the bucket right there by Evans. I mean, just a great job of him of driving the field in this last 2 minutes of this half and just driving and getting the ball down the field into the end zone. And right here, I mean, they're going to keep him on the field and try to go for 2.
Whistles prior to the snap, and it looks like Timberview will call timeout and talk it over. But what was a very defensive first half of this football game, now here in the final 2-3 minutes of the half, 2 Mansfield Timberview touchdowns. Deuce Jones capping off a 99-yard touchdown drive with a 4-yard score to make it 6-0. And now the touchdown hookup from Evans to Andre Williams. And it is 12-0 Timberview pending the extra point. Certainly appeared they will come out and try for a 2-point conversion and try and make it 14-0 here at halftime. 4 seconds on the clock in the second quarter. Again, it will be Flower Mound ball to start the second half, so ample opportunity for the Jaguars to answer this late score, but certainly not what their defense wanted to see happen to finish off the half.
Yeah, I mean, they can make a big stop right here and keep him out of the end zone in this 2-point conversion, but I would imagine that Flower Mound is going to come out of the half and want to go really, really fast to give themselves a chance to put some points up in the early part of the second half. But again, I mean, just got to give all the credit to Simeon Evans right here, just driving this offense down, methodically getting the ball down the field, managing this drive to where they can put points up on the board and still have opportunity to give themselves the momentum going into the half.
Now Flower Mound is called their first timeout of the half. They still have 2 remaining. Not that they're going to have much opportunity to use them in these final 4 seconds, but certainly wanted to use one here. Did Jaguars head coach Brian Basil to talk over what is, an important play here. Just 2 points that either will or won't go on the scoreboard, and they want to make sure their defense is aligned to try and make the stop here and keep it 12-0 in favor of Timberview. It'll be Evans in shotgun. Deuce Jones behind him in the pistol formation. 2 wides to the right, 1 to the top of the formation, and a tight end on the right-hand side. They're going to run the option near side. Evans pitches back for Jones, and he's got nowhere to go.
Ooh.
They had that read the entire way. A very nice stop from the Flower Mound defense, and it will stay 12-0. But still a great drive for Mansfield Timberview, going down the field in the 2-minute offense, making some really nice, heady plays. To your point, I think a couple moments ago, Simeon Evans staying poised in a big spot there on 4th down, finding a man open over the middle right after he had what frankly should have been a walk-in touchdown dropped. Easy for a quarterback to get frustrated in that moment and lose his head. Instead, Evans stays poised, stays calm, and finds an open man over the middle again. It was Williams, in fact, who then caught the touchdown pass shortly thereafter. Really, really nice drive. 2 consecutive fantastic drives from this Mansfield Timberview offense to take a 12-0 lead going into halftime.
Absolutely. I mean, just like you said, Mike, just staying poised by Evans. I mean, that's something that you want from your quarterback in moments like that. And even going into the half, I can tell you that going into the half with a lead puts you kind of relaxes you a little bit. If you the Timberview offense, and especially in Evans, just having a little bit more confidence in his guys to come out in the second half and move the ball around. And so I would assume, Mike, that they're going to come out and try to take more shots here in the second half. The receivers are getting around, getting the ball off, and they've been doing a great job so far in these last 2 minutes of the game.
Little squib kick here to end the half. Flower Mound will just sit on it as Clatterbaugh fielded the kickoff. 1 second left in the second quarter here. We'll see if Flower Mound elects to just kneel on it or if they want to take one final heave with Nick Evers and company. It was a very defensive first half, but Timberview certainly turned things around there offensively on those final 2 drives. They have 230 first half yards offensively. I would argue 70% of that has come on these last 2 drives, somewhere in that ballpark, as Evers kneels on it, and that will be the end of half number 1. A very nice finish to the half for Mansfield Timberview, and they go into the locker room with a 12-0 lead. Deuce Jones with a 4-yard touchdown run to cap off that 99-yard drive, and then Simeon Evans leading the 2-minute offense, hooking up with Andre Williams on a big play over the middle on 4th and 10, and then finding Williams in the corner of the end zone for a 7-yard touchdown pass, and it's 12-0 here at halftime. John, your thoughts on our first 24 minutes?
I mean, just very, very much back and forth, Mike, as we expected. Both defenses came out to play really well tonight. And then, again, offensively, is just trying to find a rhythm. Timberview just could not stay on schedule early on in the first quarter. Just they either had a fumble snap or some kind of penalty that would, make it 1st and long or 2nd and long or 3rd and long or 4th and long. I mean, so just trying to find a way to stay on schedule. But, I mean, as we alluded to, they found a way here late in the second quarter to just find that rhythm, find that schedule to stick by and make their way into the end zone a couple of times. And then, again, for Flower Mound, I mean, they found a way to get the ball up and down the field. I think this second half they're going to come out and take more shots because they have some really good confidence in Evers as the quarterback to get the ball up and down the field. That's their niche. That's their thing. And so I think we have a pretty exciting second half on our hands, Mike.
Really good point from David Johnson in our comment feed on the YouTube channel right now. Simeon Evans, he says, Simeon Evans has taken a team to a state championship and won it in his career. So this is definitely a kid that's going to keep his cool. We were talking about how poised he was there late in the half. This is a kid that transferred in from Bishop Dunn back in January, led Bishop Dunn to a TAPS state championship, TAPS Division I state championship a couple of years back. So to David's point in our YouTube stream, absolutely a kid that has been there and done that earlier in his career. So a game in early October is not going to rattle this kid, and clearly it didn't in that spot late in quarter number 2. 12-0 our score at halftime here on Friday Night Football. Just coming onto the field right now is the Flower Mound High School Band. We'll step aside for a moment and come back and show you their halftime show coming up next on Friday Night Football.
Back at Wilson Stadium in Flower Mound, halftime. It's a 12-0 lead for Timberview, but it's time for the show from the bands as the Flower Mound High School Band has taken the field under the direction of Brent Biscup. We hope you enjoy the show.
Rosette officers from left to right are Lieutenant Navli Novaev, Lieutenant Erica Flatz, First Lieutenant Carmen Eastland, Captain Hannah Steimer, Lieutenant Kaylee Pike, Lieutenant Bess Orison, Lieutenant Kaylin Neiswanger. Rosette social officers are President Abby Wessels, Vice President Sophie Wickersham, Secretary Kristen Wood, Historian Hannah Schwartzel, Sunshine Chairman Maddie Ritt, Chaplain Caroline Upchurch. Rosette Spirit Girls of the Week are Miranda Tolentino and Lauren Rosenthal. Rosette Rookies of the Week are Melina Mulas and Abby Thornott. Rosettes of the Week are Avery Park and Emily Galvan. The Rosettes will be performing a streamer jazz to Sweet Caroline. Rosettes would like to thank their Diamond Rose sponsors, DFW Oral Surgeons, Southwestern Foam Technologies. They would also like to thank their Red Rose sponsors, Tritax Rehabilitation, Dr. Lori Bard, UBS, Flower Mound Smiles, Holly Eric. Rosette managers are Maddie Dortwine and Delaney Rosenkrantz. The Rosettes are under the direction of Hannah Elmore and Terry Newsom. And now, Flower Mound High School proudly presents the Jaguar Marching Band. Tonight, the band will perform their contest show inspired by the art of Jackson Pollock, featuring music by Ron Nelson and arranged by Wayne Downey, David Grunenberg, and Colton Hines. The band is led on the field by drum majors Hannah Bang, Joey Richburg, Kathir Siralothan, and Mitchell Robinson.
Where are y'all at? Coach, you went to Mansfield. You went to Goldsmith. How much shots did you take? How much shots did I take?
It is almost halftime. Auburn keeps on. 14-13.
Directors of the Jaguar Band are Brent Biscup, Anna Harvey, and Kyle Ayubi. Percussion directors are David Groneberg and Taylor Davis. Color guard instructors are Seth Davis, Cassie Gonzalez, and Chelsea Yap. Director of the Performing Arts for the Louisville ISD is Amanda Drinkwater. The band would like to thank our sponsors, Ginger Tuggle with Colwell Banker Realty, Platinum, Vicki Christensen with Keller Williams Realty, Platinum, Water Event, Platinum, DFW Oral Surgeons.
Quite a show from the Flower Mound High School Band here on Friday Night Football. Just a few minutes left to go before we get back underway with some football action. Just about 2 minutes until the start of quarter number 3. Mike Leslie and John Diar's here with you on Friday Night Football. 12-0 the score in favor of Timberview. Deuce Jones, a 4-yard touchdown run, capping off a 99-yard drive, John, to make it 6-0. And then right before halftime, Timberview effective in their 2-minute offense. Simeon Evans hitting Andre Williams for the touchdown, and it is 12-0 after 2 quarters of play. Timberview finally kind of got their offense unlocked, despite, frankly, what we've seen is an awful lot of wind tonight here at Flower Mound. Finally, the passing game got unlocked a little bit there for Timberview.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. I mean, they got their running game going behind, Deuce Jones and Phillips and Evans, just doing what he does at quarterback, running that read option play that's been effective for them, and getting their receivers out on the edge with the jet sweeps and all the different types of ways to get on the perimeter. And so making Flower Mound stack that box with more defenders to slow down the run game actually gave them wide open receivers down the field. As we saw Reed get up the middle of the field right there on the seam route, just barely dropped it for a walk-in touchdown. But that's the way to attack a defense. You bring everybody up in the box and you try to put the ball over their head. And so it's been effective for them. And I'm interested to see how Flower Mound is going to respond to that. I mean, it's one thing to slow down Deuce Jones, a 5'9", 210 running back, but there's another thing to try to stop the Timberview receiver core, who's been just getting wide open left and right. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how they attack that offense here in the second half. But again, I mean, we gotta keep an eye out for Flower Mound's offense as well. I mean, they are a high-powered, fast offense, and they like to get the ball up and down the field as well. So it's just going to be interesting second half to see how Flower Mound responds.
Flower Mound's defense allowing some of those receivers to run open late there in the second quarter. It was a very defensive struggle through the first quarter and a half of this football game. But eventually, Timberview did finally start making things happen on the offensive end. And to that end, they have a total yardage edge after one half of play, 230 to 37. They have 14 first downs. Again, a lot of that, many of those first downs, and a huge portion of those 230 yards coming on those final 2 touchdown drives. Prior to that, they hadn't moved the ball very much at all. Flower Mound, by contrast, hasn't been able to really unlock their offense yet. Only 37 total yards and only 3 first downs so far in this game. 26 yards passing, 11 yards rushing so far for Flower Mound. Meanwhile, for Timberview, 159 on the ground, 71 through the air. Simeon Evans accounting for 82 passing yards. Xavion Walker 1 for 2 for negative 11 yards. They had that one swing pass that Stone Eby made a heck of a play on that created that negative yardage in the passing game for Xavion Walker. Jarvis Reed, 4 carries for 60 yards. Deuce Jones, 9 carries for 55 yards. Simeon Evans, 5 carries for 41 yards. They have been the 3-headed monster of the run game for Mansfield Timberview, and that has been the majority of how they've moved the ball in the first half. Yeah, I mean, they've just been feeding a hot hand, and it's just been a great job by their offensive coordinator, Robert DeSanto, just understanding that, keep the hot man with the ball in his hand. I mean, he's just been moving the ball around to everybody. Everybody's been involved on offense, and that is a great feeling to have. I mean, and if you're a part of any offense, to just make sure that the ball is just getting around and everybody's touching it, and it keeps everybody happy, especially when you have a high-powered offense like Timberview, who has, Evans at the helm. And so just being able to get that ball around, move that ball around, has worked for them in the first half. And I'm sure they're going to stick to it here in the second half, trying to get that ball moved around some more. So I just ran some quick numbers. The 99-yard drive for Mansfield Timberview that led to the 4-yard Deuce Jones touchdown run to make it 6-0. Then a 69-yard drive to finish off the half and take that 12-0 lead on the Simeon Evans to Andre Williams touchdown pass. 168 of the 230 first-half yards from Mansfield Timberview coming on those 2 drives alone. So that is really the story of the game so far tonight, is that they were finally able to unlock their offense late in the second quarter. And as a result, here we sit, a 12-0 lead for Timberview. It will be Flower Mound ball to start the second half. Timberview's kickoff team already ready and waiting. Flower Mound was a little later getting out of the locker room here for the second half, but they do have their 11 on the field for kickoff return, and they are ready to bring Nick Evers and company back on the football field and try and finally get something going offensively for the Jaguars. Evers has shown the ability to throw the ball. They haven't been off by much on a couple of big plays, but they just haven't quite been able to connect. We'll see if they can change that here on the first possession of the second half.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, just one key for all the football fans out there. You can definitely tell who can take an advantage in the ball game when you see 5 explosive plays, is what we like to call it. If an offense has 5 explosive plays, they have a really good chance of taking the momentum of a game. And so let's see if Flower Mound can get their offense rocking and rolling. I mean, Tillman and Stevenson have just been fire hot coming off the edge, and so they got to find a way to slow down that defensive pressure. And so here we are, start the second half. Let's see what's going to happen.
Timberview's kickoff team ready to send it away. And we are underway in half number 2, fielded at the 10 by Flower Mound. And coming near side, bringing it out to the 25-yard line is Chase McCall. And here comes Nick Evers and company. Evers in the first half, 3 for 11 through the air, 26 yards, also carried it 7 times for 6 yards. Some of those 7 carries in the high school level are sacks are tabulated as run plays, so not all of those were designed runs for Evers. He's been sacked a few times tonight. As you mentioned, Tillman and Stevenson have been ferocious off the edge all night. It'll be interesting to see if Mateus Arujo, the sophomore guard, sees a little bit more time in this second half for Flower Mound. They like this kid. He's a stud coming up off the JV. Maybe he can help their offensive line be a little bit more solid in this second half and create some holes for Moss and Connie, create some time for Nick Evers. And right there they did for Connie, a pickup of 6 on 1st and 10. 2nd and 4, handoff up the middle again. Looks like it was Connie again and another couple.
Yeah, Mike, they are trying to go fast as they can possibly go. And you can even see the personnel change here, bringing in a couple more of the big guys, trying to get this run game going to attack this 3-man front of Timberview right here. They are running guys on and off. Some of the heavy guys trying to get this 3rd and short, because this is a big drive to give themselves an opportunity to stay in the ball game.
Yeah, you certainly can't go 3 and out and give it right back to Timberview with the offensive rhythm that they created late there in the second quarter. So this is a big 3rd and 2 here. Out of shotgun, Evers, handoff. Look at the size of that young man carrying the football. I believe that was big number 68 for Flower Mound, and he did not get the first down. Colton Votney, their defensive tackle, carrying there on 3rd and 3. And he's short by about a yard. And it's going to be 4th down, and Flower Mound will indeed have to punt it away as on comes Burt Auburn and the punt unit.
Now, I must say, Mike, I've never seen that happen before. I must say I've never seen the ball handed off to a lineman on 3rd and short, but that's pretty clever by Flower Mound of trying to get a bigger body in the game and pick up that first down. But, I mean, just a phenomenal job by Timberview of getting another stop.
Punting into the wind is Auburn, fielded at the 28-yard line, a return of about 4 for Timberview as Todrick Dixon brings it back to the 32-yard line, and that's where we'll see the Wolves offense once again. So Flower Mound tried, went with the big body on 3rd and short, but they weren't quite able to convert. And now a big ask here for the Flower Mound defense that was on the field a lot late in that second quarter. That's a 20-minute halftime. They've had enough time to certainly catch their breath, but this is a big spot where they need to make a stop. Yeah, they absolutely have to, Mike. They have to make a big stop right now. Right now, as far as the 3rd down stops go, Timberview leads that with the most defensive stops. So let's see if Flower Mound can find a way to get this Wolves offense off the field. Jones carries up the middle and tumbles his way forward to the 39. It kind of feels like Flower Mound needs to create a turnover more than anything. Like they need to kind of maybe create some points with their defense. We saw Mansfield Timberview's defense try to do such a thing in the first half when they had the strip sack deep in Flower Mound territory. Their offense wasn't able to capitalize on that, but ultimately eventually was able to find the end zone later in the half. Kind of feels like Flower Mound needs to do something similar here and create a turnover and give their offense a short field.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. They're going to have to give their offense an extra possession, as some will say, with a turnover, whether it be, a strip fumble recovery or interception on one of these passing plays. Somehow they're going to have to create an extra possession for their offense to have a chance in this in the early part of this third quarter. But here we are, 3rd and short. I'm sure that Timberview is going to keep it on the ground. They have their 300 monster in the backfield, and so let's see what they dial up.
Back to either side of Evans. He's going to roll out of it on 3rd and 1. Throws near side, too tall and incomplete. Timberview tries to go to the air, and they don't connect. And it's 4th down and 1, and it looks like they're going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, Mike, right there. They're just trying to run a little play action right there on 3rd and short now. Not sure what they were trying to get right there with that concept on 3rd and short, but I mean, just trying to get Evans out of the pocket right there and get him on the edge. I mean, I thought he would have scrambled for the 1st down right there on 3rd and short, but he tried to get it to his man Loftus right there, just a little bit too high.
A little bit of a high snap, and it's blocked. Weaver got the punt off, but it's blocked, and he's taken down in the backfield after he recovered it. The big play that Flower Mound has needed comes on special teams, and they set their offense up 1st and 10 at the 21.
Big play right there, Mike, of just getting through all of that punt coverage right there and getting to the punter. I mean, that is just a phenomenal play by Sam Vibro right there. Just getting to the punter, getting extended out and blocking that punt and making sure that he secured the tackle. I mean, that may have been the play right there to get this offense jump-started.
The snap was high, which made it harder for Weaver and gave Flower Mound the extra half a second to get there. They capitalize, and they set up 1st and 10 at the 21. Tripped up as he tried to get to the hole was DJ Connie. Coming from the backside to make the play, and a really nice tackle is Mansfield Timberview's Tristan McDonald.
Big play right there, Mike, to just scrape the edge right there and trip him up right there, right beyond the line of scrimmage, man. Really big play.
Goes down as a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Evers to the air off play action over the middle, tipped in the air, and it will fall harmlessly incomplete. That was up there for the taking for a moment. I think Neva Nyangaresi had an opportunity to run underneath this, but it was just a bit out of his grasp, and it's 3rd down and 8.
Big 3rd down right here, Mike. They got to convert right here on 3rd down. I mean, just to get a big play right there on special teams to block a punt and putting themselves, I mean, starting right here inside the red zone. I mean, they have to put some type of points up on the board right here in this possession.
Evers giving instructions to his offensive line. He's got 2 wides to the near side, 2 backs in the backfield with him. Motion man out of the formation is Connie. Evers, deep corner, end zone. Touchdown! Flower Mound's on the board. Parker Clark on the receiving end, and the Jaguars turn the block punt into points.
Phenomenal play call right here. I mean, just absolutely wonderful. They had a little window dressing right there from their man in motion to open up the wide receiver right there in the back or in the front corner of the end zone. Just kind of distracting that Timberview defense. They were kind of miscommunicating. It was man coverage. Guy kind of got lost with the motion coming, but phenomenal play call right there to put 6 points up on the board.
19 yards for the touchdown from Evers to Parker Clark. And it's 12-6 at the moment, pending the PAT here from Burt Auburn. There's some discussion on the near side between our officiating crew and Timberview head coach James Brown. It's a dead ball unsportsmanlike penalty against Flower Mound. That will be assessed on the kickoff. So that will create an opportunity for great field position right off of this touchdown from Flower Mound for Mansfield Timberview to perhaps find an answer. No number was given by our officiating crew for the penalty, so I'm not sure exactly who it was on, whether it was a celebration penalty after the touchdown or if it was unrelated to celebration altogether. Either way, the touchdown does indeed stand. And now the PAT from Auburn, bad snap, but a nice job to corral it by the holder Parker Clark, and Auburn puts it through, and it's 12-7. Another look at the touchdown here is Evers. Pretty ball, wide open was Parker Clark, and to your point, John, the play design set all of that up.
Absolutely, that's just recognizing man coverage right there, and just kind of just kind of confusing the defense with that early motion and what we like to call a little window dressing right there. Simple pass concept, just a receiver getting up the sideline wide open. I mean, they just kind of miscounted for that receiver going up the side of the sideline right there to the front corner of the end zone. But again, great play design of getting the ball to his main man, Parker Clark, who just knows how to make plays when his name is called. And so great job of getting on the board here early in the third and giving themselves a chance, to get back in this ball game and actually give Timberview a run for their money, I would like to say, Mike.
Yeah. The block punt sets it all up, gave him the football at the 21-yard line, and 3 plays later they are in the end zone. Evers to Clark from 19 yards out. And we've got a football game, my friend. 12-7 our score. 8:03 to play here in quarter number 3 on Friday Night Football. We do appreciate you guys being with us on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please share the feed around to your friends and family in the Mansfield or Flower Mound communities or in the Texas high school football community at large. Anybody who may want to tune in and see what has turned into a pretty good football game here, 5-point game early on in the third quarter. Also, please click the like button, click the subscribe button to the WFAA YouTube channel as well. We'll bring you a game here on the WFAA YouTube channel every Friday night, as long as there are high school football games across the state of Texas, which is, frankly, a question mark right now. After the penalty, the kickoff comes to the 20. Coming near side is Loftus around the corner and out to midfield. A nice return by Baron Loftus. They'll spot him just shy of the midfield stripe. But sure enough, the penalty hurts Flower Mound. Great field position for Timberview.
Absolutely. I mean, you couldn't ask for a much better start right there than on the other side of the 50 or right here on the 50-yard line, Mike. I mean, this Timberview offense has found some type of rhythm there in the first half or late in the first half, and just getting behind the poise and the leadership of their fine quarterback, Simeon Evans, right here, just getting his first drive of the second half to potentially put some more points up on the board.
So Evans on 1st and 10, hands to Jarvis Reed. Well defended, and the ball's loose. Flower Mound thinks they have the football. And they do. Jaguar football. On the first play of the possession, they strip it loose from Reed, and it's Flower Mound ball.
Wow. Mike, we literally just talked about this. They have to find a way to create an extra possession for their offense, and they are getting it done.
Stripping it out from behind and doing exactly what you're saying.
Absolutely, giving their offense an extra possession, and right here, Flower Mound has to capitalize. I mean, I believe if they do capitalize right here like they did on the last drive, they will take the momentum and the lead and potentially take the lead. So let's see what they dial up right here, Mike.
A touchdown would give this Flower Mound team the lead. Field goal could cut it to 2. We've mentioned it before, they do have one of the best kickers in the state in Burt Auburn, a kid who's got range out to 55, according to head coach Brian Basil. They want a touchdown, though, and they throw it on the near side here on 1st and 10, complete in the arms of Landon Widener.
Nice quick throw right there on 1st down just to get the offense going. They took advantage of the space right there down below to the receiver, and just getting a nice play on 1st down.
2nd and short, the carry goes to DJ Connie, and he's got the 1st down. Spotted at the 34, 1st and 10 for Flower Mound, and quickly back to the line of scrimmage comes Nick Evers and company. Motion man out of the formation. They're going to swing it out that way. A little speed as they get it in the hands of Andrew Moss. He hasn't done much in the run game so far tonight, or frankly this season, but he can catch the ball out of the backfield and shows a little bit of it there. Now they will hand it to him on the ground, and he's going to try and prove me wrong, picking up a couple here and getting down to the 21-yard line, enough for a first down. And again, Flower Mound will move the sticks.
Absolutely, Mike. They are going fast, lightning fast, as they like to do. That is their niche. That is their forte. And right here, they are showing you that, hey, we can move this ball in a hurry down the field.
Here comes Evers again, 1st and 10. Swinging it near side. Again, it's Moss. Gets the corner just barely taken down by his shoestrings by Tristan McDonald. Very close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot from our head linesman on the near sideline. Yes, indeed, enough to move the sticks. It's 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Handoff up the middle, nicely defended, knifing through to make the stop for Mansfield Timberview is Ife Oyejide.
Gain of 1 on the play. It's 2nd down.
2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. Evers looking end zone, just shy of it, complete inside the 5. Really nice catch.
Pass is complete to number 15, Walker Mulkey.
That's the sophomore Mulkey making the grab once again. He's had a nice night.
Absolutely. They believe that this kid is talented and he can make plays, and he is absolutely answering the bell right here midway through this 3rd quarter by making a great grab right there on the throw by Evers right there. Here we are right inside the 5 here, 3rd and short, 3rd and goal almost, and they have a chance to put points up on the board, Mike.
Here comes Votney again up the middle on 3rd and 2, into the pile and nowhere to go. The one downside if you're Flower Mound is when you put 68 on the field, you kind of telegraph what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Timberview is ready for it for a 2nd time now, and it's going to be 4th down and short.
No gain on the play.
I like it, Mike.
Let's see how short they are. It looks like it's going to be a full 2 yards short of the line to gain, but they're going to stay on the field. Votney's going to stay on the field. Evers takes the snap. They're going to give it to him again. Votney,
and
end zone,
scores.
Touchdown. This time it worked. Colton Votney, the defensive tackle, gives Flower Mound the lead.
Mike, I mean, you got to love it, Mike. You got to love it when the big man gets in the backfield right there and just gets north and south and get behind his pads. I mean, not too many people want to tackle a defensive tackle with the ball, that is. And right there, he just got his shoulders down, got into the end zone, and did his job. I mean, you got to love it, Mike, seeing a big man score like that.
Imagine being 6'1", 185-pound Landon Hullaby, the Timberview safety, who, by the way, is one of the best safeties in the country. I'm not hating on Hullaby in any way, shape, or form, but you see big number 68 coming at you, and you're going, I don't know about this. Votney into the end zone from 4 yards out, and it is 13-12 in favor of Flower Mound. They have come back to take the lead here in the first 6 minutes and 35 seconds of half number 2.
For more information, visit tollbrothers.com.
The 4-yard touchdown run on 4th and 2. And frankly, some gumption from Brian Basil and Flower Mound and their offensive coordinator, Scott Grantham, to call that play for a 3rd time. After the first 2 times it had failed, they said, no, we're going back to big number 68 again and making this happen.
Absolutely.
By the way, Votney is 6'2", 258, so that's a load coming at you with the ball in his hands.
Absolutely. You have no choice but to go low, Mike. You got to. Just pray for the best.
And our first lead change of the day. Now they're going to go for 2. End zone and incomplete, but a flag. A flag on the play for pass interference. It would certainly appear anyway. And Flower Mound's going to get another opportunity at it here. Trying to take a 3-point lead as opposed to a 2-point lead makes sense schematically as you look forward in the football game. And it looks like here comes the heavy formation once again for Flower Mound. Big 68 Colton Votney out there again. As that will be a half the distance to the goal penalty, obviously, in this circumstance. So instead of sitting at the 3, the ball will move forward to about the 1.5-yard line.
So even with a missed throw right there, I mean, it still worked in their favor to be, you know, a yard and a half away and to have your big defensive tackle again in the
So here it goes again over the top, and that's going to be short. A nice play by the Timberview defense, and coming through with the tackle for Timberview. Looks like it was, is that Deuce Jones?
Trey Jones.
Beg your pardon, Trey Jones. Oh,
twin
sorry.
brother. Yep, twin brother right there.
How perfect is that, by the way? Deuce Jones wears number 2, Trey Jones wears number 3, and they're twin brothers. I mean, it's like the football number gods just ordained that it would be this way.
Perfectly put, Mike. I mean, you got to think that mom had something to do with it, huh?
There are some good brother names, by the way, in this game. Deuce Jones and Trey Jones for Mansfield Timberview. We've talked about Stone Eby and the impact player he is for this Flower Mound defense. His younger brother, who's hurt right now, isn't playing at the moment, but is on the roster. Stone Eby's brother is Striker Eby.
Yep.
Stone and Striker Eby and Deuce and Trey Jones. A couple of decent brother tandems in the all-name category for high school football here in the state of Texas. But what a comeback here for Flower Mound.
Yeah.
Taking a 13-12 lead now off the Colton Votney touchdown run. They turn the blocked punt into the Evers to Clark touchdown pass. They turn the fumble, which, by the way, was created by Colton Votney. He's the one who stripped the football in the first place. Then he finishes the drive with a touchdown run, and it's 13-12. Flower Mound in front in a blink.
Votney's going to be a happy man tonight, Mike. I mean, just forcing a fumble and turn around and score and then putting 6 points up on the board. I mean, this is exactly what we talked about, though, Mike. They're giving their offense a chance, an extra possession, and those are explosive plays that you got to count on when they count.
Kicking off into the wind, into the end zone, but Trey Jones is going to bring it out. Rather, it's Hullaby bringing it out. Maybe wishes he hadn't now as he only gets out to the 17-yard line, and disadvantageous field position here for the Timberview Wolves offense.
17 yards on the return. Wolves ball first and 10 from their own 17.
So here comes Timberview. Simeon Evans on the field once again. He's certainly had the lion's share of the playing time tonight between he and Xavier Walker. Hand off Deuce Jones. Big hole outside. Tiptoes his way out of bounds, close to first down yardage, just a hair shy.
Keeping it safe right there, Mike, giving it to their main man, Deuce Jones, and again, attacking that perimeter. They have had a high level of success getting out on the perimeter with either a run play, a jet sweep, or anything like that. They have had a lot of success on the perimeter against this Flower Mound defense.
Call it a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Jones will get the call again. Nice cut back, and he's got a hole up the middle. Stepping through a tackle out to the 35, and a really nice run, maybe the best of the night from Deuce Jones.
Without a doubt, Mike. I mean, this is just pure vision right here to see that back cut all the way back to the other side of the line of scrimmage. And, I mean, just a step away from maybe getting out on the edge and turn it into an even bigger game. But, again, great vision, great cutting right there by Deuce Jones.
Ball out to the 36. They've got Loftus in the jet motion again coming near side, and he's got a lot of running room. Stepped out of bounds. Beg your pardon, it was Phillips again. They like running both Loftus and Zach Phillips on this jet motion. Little pop pass right in front of the quarterback, and man, Phillips has got some speed.
He does.
He's dangerous. Enough for a first down, but he did step out of bounds.
Absolutely, attacking that perimeter, like you said, Mike. They are having success at it, and with Phillips, I mean, I would imagine that they're going to continue to get him that ball on the jet sweep because he has had nothing but success once he gets up and down that sideline, getting north and south.
4:36 to play here in quarter number 3. It looks like we may have lost our clock for the moment. We'll try and solve that problem here momentarily, but it is a 13-12 Flower Mound lead now as Timberview tries to answer 2 quick scores from the Jaguars, and here goes Simeon Evans up the left-hand side off of a bit of a broken play. And he picks up the first down, and they're into Flower Mound territory.
There he shows his athleticism, as Coach Brown mentioned to us earlier this week, and just turning nothing into something and extending the plays with his great feet and athleticism and vision right there, turning into a big gain right there for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Jones into a pile. And nowhere to go. It's been all Flower Mound here early on in the 3rd quarter. If you're just joining us here on the WFAA YouTube channel, 2 quick scores from the Jaguars. The first coming off of a blocked punt. Their second blocked kick of the day, by the way. They blocked a PAT earlier in the game as well. The blocked punt led to a Nick Evers to Parker Clark touchdown pass from 19 yards out to make it 12-7. Then Flower Mound created a fumble on the very first play of the following Timberview possession, and they turned that into 7 points, 6 points as well. Votney into the end zone, the 2-point conversion try failed, and it's 13-12. Here Jones strung out near side, and back-to-back run plays with Deuce Jones go mostly nowhere, and it will be 3rd and 10.
Right there, they're trying to get the ball out on the edge again, but this Flower Mound defense is truly pursuing to the ball right now. A big job of making the ball cut back by Ryan McDavid right there for Flower Mound, and just allowing their defense to rally to the ball.
So 3rd down and 10 here for Evans. 2 wides to the left, 1 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield with him. It's Reed behind him, dotting the pistol. Beg your pardon, it was Jones. Looking deep up the left sideline. Has a man behind the defense. Just a bit too far. Baron Loftus couldn't run underneath it, and it's 4th and 10.
Trying to take a shot right there on 3rd down, Mike. I mean, he had him. But again, as we mentioned before, the elements in this stadium seem to be a bit of a challenge for Evans trying to get the ball down the field to his guy Loftus, who was well behind the defense right there. But here they are taking a chance on 4th down. They have some type of confidence in Evans and understanding that his ability to make plays happen are very likely right here on 4th down.
Kind of in that no man's land at the 37-yard line. Too close to punt it, too far to kick a field goal. They're going to go for it on 4th and 10. Evans stepping up, has a man deep in the end zone. And dropped for the 2nd time today. It falls incomplete. Evans made a great play to step up in the pocket, evade the rush from Joey Lukash, and had a man wide open in the end zone, and they just couldn't squeeze it as Samarian Chambliss had it go through his hands. The 5'9" junior couldn't quite hang on to it, and it's Flower Mound football.
Mike, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that right there. I mean, to evade the pressure, they sent the all-out blitz, showing man coverage all the way across the board and just getting the ball downfield, and just couldn't quite make the connection, man.
So back comes Flower Mound, handoff up the middle with DJ Connie. Two minutes, 15 seconds left to play, 3rd quarter. We have lost our clock for the moment. We'll try and solve that problem perhaps during the quarter break, or as soon as we can anyway. But for the meantime, we'll keep you abreast of the situation vocally. 2nd down and 6 here for Nick Evers, as he's got 3 wides to the top of the formation and a 1-point lead to play with. First time he's been on the field with a lead so far tonight. Quick jump off the edge for Ram Stevenson, and he is in the back of Nick Evers in a blink.
He is lightning bolt fast, Mike. I mean, just the offensive tackle didn't even have a chance to even get into his kick step, Mike. I mean, Stevenson is just flying off of the ball right there.
Washington State commit showing off a little bit of why he is a Power 5 type football player. I mean, he was off he must have guessed the snap count, because he beat the left tackle so cleanly. I'm not sure if he even got a hand on him.
Not at all. Couldn't have, Mike. I mean, just got to the quarterback in a blink of an eye, like you mentioned.
Evers didn't have a chance. Now 3rd down and 13. Evers flush near side. Going to try and run for as much as he can. Nice job, frankly, to cut up field and try and split the tacklers. But DeMondre Green wouldn't have any of it. He makes the stop, and it's 4th down.
Great job of the Wolves defense to get off the field and make a great stop right there on 3rd down. And trying to get the ball back to the offense who had success in the late first half, but in this second half here, Mike, they have struggled trying to with ball security, whether that's been on special teams or offense. They have absolutely turned the ball over way too many times. So let's see if they can get things turned around.
Final 30 seconds here of quarter number 3. Low snap, but Auburn's able to get it away. High spiraling kick. Fair catch called for and made on the stumble by Deuce Jones. And with 18 seconds to play in quarter number 3, back comes the Timberview offense. So 1st and 10 for Mansfield Timberview. 18 seconds to play, third quarter. And once again, it's Simeon Evans leading the charge for the Wolves offense. Ball tipped to the line of scrimmage, and I think that was caught by an offensive lineman. Oh, it was actually Jarvis Reed, the running back in the backfield, caught the deflection here. Fell right in his lap. Nice job by the defensive front from Flower Mound to get high and knock the ball away, and that is how the third quarter will come to an end. All Flower Mound in period number 3, and they lead it by 1 after 3 quarters.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you stand and join the team and show your support and jump around. Start the fourth quarter, it's 2nd and 11.
As we start the final frame, Mansfield Timberview ball, 2nd and 11, and again a big play in the backfield. Ball's loose. Are they going to say that play's dead? They are not so far. Flower Mound creating the fumble in the backfield. Who has it? It looks like Evans got back on top of it, and it will be 3rd down and long. A big play by the defensive line from Flower Mound. And it is now 3rd down and call it 18. 30 seconds in here to quarter number 4. Friday Night Football on the WFAA YouTube channel. Mike Leslie here with you alongside John Diaz, the former TCU and LSU wide receiver. Our photographers, Dwayne Watkins. Our director, Clay Marshall. Digital coordinator back in house is Nick Blackhall. And our technical director is Don Hazen. 3rd and 18, and Evans is going to try and take off and run for it. Able to maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage, but no further. And on 4th and 10, Timberview trailing by 1. A minute into quarter number 4, we'll have to punt it away.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, they really got behind the chains on 2nd down with a I'm not sure what exactly happened, but somehow the ball came out, and so they are having to punt here with again just getting behind schedule and get behind the chains.
Andre Williams, the punter, rugby-style punt, rolls to his right, and an end-over-end kick that'll take a good Mansfield Timberview bounce and a couple more as well, all the way down inside the 25 to the 22. A nice punt from Andre Williams. And that helps out the Mansfield Timberview defense rather substantially. They need a stop, though, right now.
Yep.
To be fair to the Timberview defense, both of the scoring drives here in the second half from Flower Mound have been on short fields off of the blocked punt and off of the turnover. But this is a spot down by 1 early on here in quarter number 4 where they really do need to make a stop.
Absolutely. I mean, they have been doing an excellent job since the beginning of the second half to create extra possessions for their offense to get the ball up and down the field in a very, very fast way in which they like to do with being a spread-out offense.
So here comes Evers. Handoff up the middle. Nothing doing. Tristan McDonald with the tackle in the backfield. Second down and 10 here. You may have heard we're trying to solve our clock problem here at Flower Mound's Wilson Stadium. Deep ball, just too far for Parker Clark. A really nice ball from Nick Evers.
Great ball.
Just a half a step too far.
I mean, he had to hurry up and get the ball out because, again, Ram Stevenson is just flying off of that edge against their left tackle and creating what we call a hurry-up for the quarterback, trying to get the ball out before he has to take a sack. So, but, again, I mean, just a great job of getting the ball down the field right there, Mike.
Third down and 10, though, the result, and not much time has come off the clock here. Ball tipped and nearly intercepted. Kenyatta Smith almost had it flutter into his arms. Can't believe that he didn't catch it as he stands up and kind of shakes it off as he was frustrated he didn't hang on to that one.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, there's literally no one in between him and the end zone right there. Had he held on to it, he would have maybe even walked into the end zone, quite literally, Mike, if he would have held on to it. But just a great job of getting off the field again by this Timberview defense and giving their offense another shot to drive down the field and get something going here, Mike, because they have been at a great disadvantage here in the second half.
Wobbly punt, bounces inside the 40-yard line and dies at the 38. And back comes Mansfield Timberview. So not much time came off the clock there. The Wolves defense did exactly what they needed to do and get their offense right back on the football field.
Scoring updates in the fourth quarter, Jesuit 23, Plano East 14. In the third quarter, Lake Highlands 42, Plano 23. Third quarter, Plano West 9.
So here comes Simeon Evans. I would certainly lean in the direction of saying that he has won this job for Mansfield Timberview. They like what he has done tonight. Hands off here up the middle for Deuce Jones, and he stumbles forward for a few, but whistles. Our head linesman talking to our crew chief tonight. See if they sort out what's happening here. Bernard Gray, the referee tonight, and the penalty is against Mansfield Timberview.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, they are just not giving themselves a chance here on first down. I mean, just continuously getting behind the chains and just making it difficult to call plays at any level. I mean, you cannot start at 1st and 15 behind the chains, but with a guy like Evans there at the helm, I mean, he can make a play, but he makes it very difficult on himself to start behind the chains.
Throws on the right-hand side, complete to Titus Evans, the sophomore. 8:54 and moving, fourth quarter here on Friday Night Football. 13-12 in favor of Flower Mound. Timberview in the white road jerseys, trying to drive the length of the field and take the lead back. Deuce Jones hit hard as he came across the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and 8.
Mike, I think it's safe to say that this Flower Mound defense has kind of found a little energy, a little juice right there. I mean, just shutting down Deuce Jones right there on a good run, and he has been having an amazing night tonight in Deuce Jones and getting up the field. But right there, they are giving themselves a chance to get off the field right here on 3rd down.
8:05 to play, fourth quarter, 3rd down and 8. Evans, time, steps up in the pocket to evade the rush, throws to Deuce Jones, 1st down and then some. Jones inside the 40, breaking tackles and spinning free, inside the 20. Deuce Jones to the house.
Ooh, that's a bad man, Mike. That is a bad man. I mean, breaking all kind of tackles up and down the sideline right there. And, I mean, he even came out of the backfield late in what they call a block and delay. I mean, just catching the ball and one broken tackle, 2, 3, 4, and then just getting down the field and just getting away from the defenders. I mean, just a great playmaker in Deuce Jones. And, I mean, we expected him to have an amazing night tonight, Mike.
60 yards on the touchdown reception. Now a low snap. They have had trouble in special teams tonight. And taken down in the backfield is the Timberview kicker, Tin Win. Again, some complaints from the near side that could have been a horse collar. Certainly looked like it from here. Special teams has been an adventure, though, tonight for Mansfield Timberview.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, but all 3. Now, one of them, they did try for a 2-point conversion, but it has been eventful, to say the least. Stone Eby taking Tin Win down in the backfield after the snap went awry, and the lead stays at 5, 18-13.
Definitely so, Mike. I mean, you got to think that Coach Brown is going to have to make a notation to the officials about some horse collaring, because, I mean, it has happened on multiple occasions tonight. Where, you know, guys have just been taken down by the horse collar. But, again, I mean, they have had continuous struggles in their special teams and getting the point after try. And somehow, some way, they're going to have to find a way to cap off, you know, a scoring drive with some extra points, whether it be, you know, 2-point conversion or extra point try. Somehow, some way, you would hate for those little points like that to come back and hurt them here late in the game.
So 18-13 the tally right now. Flower Mound certainly needs a touchdown to take the lead back. 2 field goals, though, would theoretically do it here in the final 7 minutes and 51 seconds of the fourth quarter. But a 60-yard touchdown reception from Simeon Evans to Deuce Jones. And it's 18-13 as Timberview takes the lead back. Short kickoff here, and a fair catch called for, but it bounces off of his leg. Loose ball on the sideline. It looks like Flower Mound did pounce on it. That was a dangerous play, but Flower Mound fortunate to recover, and they'll keep it. But now trailing by 5, John, and this is, we've seen certainly that Flower Mound has been able to move the ball better here in this second half. But again, both of their scoring drives came off of short fields, turnovers, blocked punts. That's how they've been able to get back into and eventually take the lead in this football game. Now they're going to drive the distance of the field. Evers, near side. Nice pass and catch. And slung out of bounds is Clark.
Great job right there. Great play call. Great pass concept. You have a go route by the outside guy and a 10-yard out by the slot guy. I mean, great call right there, but here they are going fast like they love to do.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage, flag at the snap. And it would appear that would go against the offense, moving a bit too fast, and the preliminary signal is an illegal shift.
DJ Collin with the carry, brought down by number 92, Armani Cathy. Flag on the field, false start on the Jaguars, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So 1st and 15 off the penalty. Seven minutes, 41 seconds on the clock, fourth quarter. Between the homestanding Flower Mound Jaguars and the Mansfield Timberview Wolves, the number 7 team in the state in 5A Division II. Handoff near side, Connie switching the ball from left to right as he cuts upfield across the 40. A nice gain to get most of it back and set up 2nd down and 3.
Great run right there by Connie. I mean, to get on the edge right there. Surprisingly that Stevenson was moving so fast that he may have ran right by the ball carrier, but great run right there to make a great play on 1st down. And here they are again, going fast again with Evers getting a 1st down on the quarterback keeper right there.
So now the ball sits at midfield, and a timeout called by Mansfield Timberview. You have to imagine, if for no other reason than to give their defense a breather here just for a moment. Early on in this drive, but already very quickly they were moving.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to call a timeout to get this defense under control again, because as fast as Flower Mound likes to go, I mean, you almost have no time to substitute and get your fatigued guys off the field. But so, I mean, great job of Timberview calling a timeout right here to kind of reset things defensively, because this Flower Mound offense, it's moving. They are using their up-tempo offense to their liking and driving the field like we expected, Mike.
So as you guys can see, we have our clock back here on Friday Night Football. 7:10 to play, fourth quarter. 18-13 the lead for Mansfield Timberview in what has been a topsy-turvy football game. All defense through the first about 20 minutes of this football game.
Yeah.
Late in the second quarter, finally Timberview got unlocked a little bit, went on a 99-yard touchdown drive. Deuce Jones a 4-yard touchdown run to take a 6-0 lead. As the throw comes near side in the hands of Walker Mulkey, and he does a nice job to fight his way, maybe for first down yardage. Really nice fight from the sophomore wide receiver as he bulls his way through 3-4 defenders and picks up the first down. Now the handoff to Connie up the middle, tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. But Timberview followed up that 4-yard touchdown run off the 99-yard drive with a 69-yard touchdown drive very late in the half. They scored with 4 seconds left in the first half. Evans hit Andre Williams with a touchdown pass. It was 12-0. But then Flower Mound came out in the third quarter and made some big plays, blocked a punt. That led to the Nick Evers to Parker Clark touchdown pass. They created a fumble on the very next Timberview possession and turned that into 6 points as well. Now a great throw on the sideline.
Wow.
Perfectly thrown by Nick Evers to Parker Clark. And that's a big first down deep into Mansfield Timberview territory. Spot it right at the 20-yard line. What a catch by Clark.
They are going fast, Mike. I mean, the defense can't even get lined up. But going back to that previous play, I mean, the great anticipation by Evers to get the ball out as soon as the receiver stuck his foot in the ground, and then a great toe tap right there on the sideline by Parker Clark. I mean, just a phenomenal play. One of the best pass plays we've seen off game.
And already their second play of this set. And down in the backfield is Evers, breaking through for the sack. Is Timberview's Zach Essie, one of their reserve linebackers, making a big play in a big spot here in the fourth quarter. Under 6 to play in the fourth, and he creates 3rd down and 16.
Big play right here, Mike. Big play for Flower Mound to try to attack this Timberview defense. I mean, they've been having success in the air. They had a little bit of success on the ground, but I would imagine that they are going to try to get the ball to their guy, Walkie, who's just been making plays left and right.
And they do indeed go to Walker Mulkey. Not going to be enough for the first down, but he does get back inside the 20-yard line past the original line of scrimmage. That's going to set up 4th down and about 8. They are well within the field goal range of Burt Auburn, their fantastic kicker. From here, ball sits at the 18-yard line, would be about a 35, 36-yard field goal. And some indecision here as Evers looks to the sideline. Scott Grantham sending in the play, 13 on the play clock. They face 4th down and 8. And finally, Evers turns to the line of scrimmage, barks out some signals to the offensive line. 3 on the play clock, and now they will have to burn their first timeout of the half. Beg your pardon, their second timeout. That is now their second timeout of the half. Flower Mound trailing by 5, 4:35 to play in the fourth, and they have only 1 timeout remaining.
Absolutely, man. They got to talk this one over because, again, they are well inside field goal range. I mean, this is 4-down territory as well, being inside the red zone, and they've had some success in the air. But, I mean, they got to take a moment to talk this over because this could make or break the game right here, honestly speaking. And even though we have 4.5 minutes left in the ball game, I mean, you can either take 3 and obviously, be down 2, trailing in the late half of this fourth quarter, or you can actually take a shot and try to get this first down. I mean, they've had success in the air, but this is going to be an interesting play call right here by the Flower Mound offense.
Yeah, at this point, 4:35 left, you do have to start asking, okay, are you going to get the football back to try another field goal if you were to take 3 points here? So it appears anyway that Brian Basil and the Flower Mound coaching staff has decided that they're going to roll the dice here on 4th down and 8 and send Nick Evers and company back out on the football field and try and pick up these 8 yards. They've got to get right to the 10-yard line to pick up the first down. Evers will be in shotgun. 2 wide receivers to either side. Claps for the snap, looking left, fires low. He had pressure in his face and couldn't step into the throw, and it's Terrell Tillman who applied that pressure. Evers throws low, and it's a 4th down stop for Timberview.
I mean, Mike, right there on the replay, I mean, you just see Tillman just shed that left offensive tackle for Flower Mound, just moving him out the way to make that throw difficult and cause a hurry up. I mean, that is huge, big-time Pac-12 play right there. I mean, that's what you expect from a guy like that who is committed to Oregon. I mean, nice, long guy, athletic kid who can do a lot and truly make plays on his defense, and we saw it right there.
So back comes the Timberview offense, and Evans off the broken play is going to keep it himself, stiff arms his way for 8 or 9. Tell you what, one of the things that James Brown, the head coach from Timberview, told me earlier this week is that they game plan and scheme to try and create one-on-one opportunities for Terrell Tillman and Ram Stevenson, their defensive ends. And that's exactly what they were able to create there on that 4th down and 10. Yeah. Tillman ended up one-on-one with that right tackle, and he just flat beat him. Got to the quarterback, created that pressure on Evers, and created a low throw. And now back comes Deuce Jones on 2nd down and 1. He's got a lot more than the 1 across midfield and down to the 46-yard line in Flower Mound territory. And with under 4 minutes to play and only 1 timeout, now the clock really becomes a concern for Flower Mound.
Absolutely. I mean, Deuce Jones has been the hot man in the second half of catching passes out of the backfield, running in between the tackles, picking up some nice gains right there for this Timberview offense. And, I mean, you got to imagine that they're going to continue to feed him the ball as they try to chew away at this clock as we're inching to 3.5 minutes left in this ball game. So, again, I mean, just a hot hand right now in the second half for Timberview is in Deuce Jones.
So 1st and 10 at the 46, clock down to 3:21 as they snap it late in the play clock. Handoff Jarvis Reed, breaking to the outside, trying to run the ladder, flagged down at the 39-yard line. So it looks like all of this effort from the sophomore running back will come back.
Yeah, may have a block in the back right there by Titus Evans, I believe. See if we can get it. Yeah, blocking the back right there by Titus Evans.
Well spotted and well called by our color commentator John Diarse this evening here with us from TCU and LSU. His college career, played wide receiver. Had some time with the Denver Broncos organization as well.
Fun
time in the AAF, I believe, correct, as well?
Absolutely.
Man who's played some football in his day.
Yeah, absolutely. Been all over the place, Mike. It's been quite the journey, I must say.
And still trying to play, I might add.
Well, we'll talk about that one after the game. We'll talk about that one after the game.
The penalty sets up 1st and 15. Evans is going to keep it himself off the read option, has a lot of room. Evans cuts back across the 35, enough for a 1st down, and that is a massive play because another 2 minutes worth of clock can just bleed off now for Mansfield Timberview. A huge play from Simeon Evans.
I mean, Mike, if you're James Brown, I mean, you got to be just elated at this quarterback's efforts tonight. I mean, he has truly making plays with his feet and evading a lot of pressure and turning, run plays into great gains right here in this last play.
Something to keep an eye on. That clock did not run. It was stuck at 3:06 for a lot of this play clock when it should have been running. Perhaps a little home cooking. I'm not saying it was intentional. But it does benefit Flower Mound just a little bit. But Evans trying to make none of it matter here, breaking away and bouncing off of tacklers down to the 20-yard line, very close to 1st down yardage again. He's going to be that is enough. They're going to say that's just enough for a 1st down. Clock down to 2:34, and they will indeed wind it this time properly as they set the sticks. 25 on the play clock, 2:26 on the game clock, so they can basically bring it all the way down to the 2-minute mark at the snap here. as Mansfield Timberview tries to play keep away here from the Flower Mound offense. Evans snaps it with 3 on the play clock, hands off. Deuce Jones up the middle, nowhere to go. Sam Vibrel leading the charge. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. Clock down to 1:48.
Mike, I would have to imagine if this Flower Mound offense got the ball back, it's going to put them in a tight spot, trying to drive the length of the field within, maybe under a minute. If they get the ball back, Mike, this Timberview offense is doing a great job of chewing the clock here in the later minutes of the fourth quarter to end this ball game. But it's going to put them in a tight spot, Mike, if they do get the ball back.
And now a timeout called by Timberview right as the play clock expired. It was down to about 2 seconds. So no time forfeited there by James Brown and the Wolves coaching staff. 1:20 on the clock, fourth quarter. 1 timeout remains for Flower Mound. Now both teams have just 1 timeout left. 18-13, Timberview with the lead. Deuce Jones with a 60-yard touchdown reception early on in the fourth quarter to give Timberview the lead that they hold right now. But they face 2nd down and 10. You'd imagine if you're Flower Mound, you're trying to save that timeout for either right before or right after 3rd down, be a little bit more confident that you've got a good chance of getting the football back. But at this point, you might as well just use it anyway because you need to save those 35 seconds worth of play clock time.
Yeah, you absolutely do. It's either use it or save it. Whether it be for offense or defense, Flower Mound has to make a choice here on this next down. Granted that, Timberview doesn't get the first down right here.
2nd down and 10. You'd imagine Timberview will keep it on the ground and force Flower Mound to use that timeout here. It would be a gift to put it in the air and throw an incompletion. Hand off to Jones, and again, a swarm of bodies and no gain. And now is when Flower Mound does use their 1 remaining timeout. 1:15 on the clock.
No gain on the play. Timeout, Flower Mound.
But even if they get a stop here on 3rd down, first of all, let's address this. They're probably outside of 10 wins field goal range right now. The kicker for Mansfield Timberview, according to James Brown, has range to about 35 or 40. I don't imagine, especially given that they've already had a PAT block tonight, that they're going to take that risk no matter where the football is on the field. But even if Flower Mound gets a stop here on 3rd down, still another play clock has to expire before that 4th down snap. You're going to have, in a best case scenario, 45 seconds maybe to work with. It's going to be real tough.
Yeah.
Nick Evers and company have shown they've got the ability to throw the ball around the yard. It's not out of the realm of possibility, especially with the fact that the clock stops with 1st downs.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard. First of all, they need a stop here defensively.
Absolutely. I think if you're Timberview, you just keep the ball in the hands of your quarterback, who has been controlling this ball game to the best of his ability, and right here they do.
Here it is with Evans trying to break tackles, gets down to the 16-yard line. That will be short. 1:06 on the clock as the 40-second play clock starts. So it is going to be down under 30 seconds to play by the time Timberview snaps the football here on 4th down and 4. A 1st down, of course, ends the football game. If Flower Mound can get a stop, they'll have about 20 seconds to come up with a miracle.
Absolutely. They have fought this entire game to stay close, and they really turned it on here in the second half and putting some points up on the board. But if you're Timberview, I think you feel pretty comfortable with Evans at the rim and maybe even keeping the ball here on this 4th and short play of getting the 1st down. Or you can even hand it to Deuce Jones, who's had a phenomenal game tonight of receiving and running the ball. So, Flower Mound definitely has a mountain to try to knock down here on this 4th and short. But their defense has also made plays this game, Mike, and have truly given extra possession to the offense. So, this 4th down play is going to be very interesting in seeing what the play call is going to be and who's actually going to make the play.
To your point, Deuce Jones tonight, 18 carries, 110 yards on the ground and a touchdown, 2 receptions, 70 yards and a touchdown. Of course, the 60-yard score early on here in the fourth quarter that gave Timberview the lead back, 18-13, the biggest play of the game thus far. And with 27 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter, Timberview faces 4th and 4 at the Flower Mound 16-yard line. Whether it's Evans or Jones, number 1 or number 2, I can almost guarantee you, is going to have the ball in their hands here for Timberview. If they can pick up the first down, it's over. If not, Flower Mound will have one last chance at a miracle. Evans with Jones to his right in shotgun.
I imagine the QB keeper.
Evans keeping it himself. Trouble in the backfield, trying to break free. Can he get to the corner? Diving, first down.
Jesus
what
Christ.
A play by Simeon Evans. And that is one heck of a way to end the football game for that senior quarterback, a young man who has won a state championship in his past at Bishop Dunn, trying to lead one of the top teams in the state in 5A Division II to a 2-0 start this season, and that's the play that gets the job done. What a play from Evans. And that will be the final play of the football game. That's what a way to end it.
That is a great way to end it. I mean, what more could you ask for, Mike, right there out of your senior quarterback and Simeon Evans? I mean, almost, taking a tackle for a loss, which wouldn't have hurt him necessarily, but the fact to evade all of that pressure and just make a diving effort for a first down to end the ball game. I mean, you got to be elated for this young man if you're the head coach, James Brown, here.
And you're absolutely right. He certainly could have said, hey, you know what? It doesn't hurt us anything. I'm just going to take a seat here at, the 30-yard line, take the 7-8-yard loss, and let him try and come up with a miracle and go 70 yards in 15 seconds. Instead, breaks free from all of that, dives for the first down, and ends it for Mansfield Timberview. That's the starting quarterback for this football program. I think that's been made pretty clear over the course of this evening.
Yeah.
What a performance from Simeon Evans. 95 yards on the ground, and I think that's actually a hair behind. That's probably still got to tabulate his one final run that was probably a 5, 6, 8-yard run. So probably, as this updates, over 100 yards through the air, on the ground rather, $149 and 2 touchdown passes through the air for Simeon Evans. A very nice performance by this senior quarterback. He and Deuce Jones pacing the offense for Mansfield Timberview. And then again, have to give credit to the Timberview defense.
Yeah.
They were fantastic all night, only gave up the 2 scores that came when they were already, one of them was a 21-yard touchdown drive, the other 47, 48 yards. Both circumstances where they were put in a bad spot. Credit to Flower Mound, they capitalized, but other than that, Timberview's defense didn't allow anything tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just the lightning and thunder on the defensive line in Stevenson and Tillman flying off the edge, and then the linebackers played a really great factor tonight in shutting down those perimeter runs by Flower Mound, and then just the electric firepower by their offense to continue to find a way. As many times as they started behind the chains and kind of got behind schedule, Mike, I mean, they continue to find a way to move down the field and give themselves a chance to win this ball game. But, I mean, overall, just a great job by this Timberview team, offensively and defensively, to pull this one out.
And just because we've got still a little bit of our audience left here on the WFAA YouTube channel, and I just got really good news. We just got confirmed because, listen, it has been a very weird, very difficult, and frankly, maybe ill-advised high school football season here in the state of Texas. If we're really being honest, we have seen many, many games around the state get canceled over the course of this week. Next week as well, these past few weeks, we have seen a lot of cancellations, more than, frankly, a lot of people are comfortable with, I have to imagine. We don't know what the future of this high school football season is, frankly. But despite the fact we were supposed to have Frisco Independence, Frisco Lone Star next week here on Friday Night Football, that game got canceled just yesterday. I beg your pardon, this morning. Officially, that came down this morning. I was tipped off to it yesterday, but it officially came down. The official announcement was this morning that game was indeed canceled. Frisco Independence does have a couple of cases within their football program, so they are now trying to figure out where to go from here in terms of quarantining players and shutting their program down. Anyway, to weave back to my original point, just got confirmation next week we will be in Aledo for what is likely to be one of the best games around the state. Knock on wood, if we're fortunate enough for that game to not be canceled in the 7 days between here and there. Let's be honest, that is the reality of the world that we are living in. The game we're doing tonight, Flower Mound and Mansfield Timberview, was the third different game that we had scheduled to broadcast for this evening. Initially, we were supposed to do Colleyville Heritage and Euless Trinity. That was the original schedule from weeks gone by. That game got canceled last week, so we rescheduled to do DeSoto and Prosper. Then that game got canceled on Wednesday. So literally we scheduled this game yesterday, and John and I basically crammed for a midterm at the last possible moment, got ourselves prepared for this one, and here we are. But again, at the moment, I will say, we are scheduled to be in Aledo. Knock on wood that both of those, Aledo and Cedar Hill, can both keep their kids healthy and be able to play that game next week. That is really that's the scenario right now, John. Yeah. Everybody's just hoping and praying that they can stay healthy for long enough to be able to come back and do this again next week and do it again the week after that and do it again the week after that. I don't know if this season is going to be able to finish. It concerns me on a lot of levels, but they're going to keep trying. Yeah. At least as of right now, they're going to keep trying. I don't know if that's going to change at some point, but it's a hard situation. Your thoughts on kind of where we are, big picture for high school football right now?
I mean, I think the schools are doing as great job as they can to keep these student athletes safe week in and week out, and just with a world pandemic of just this virus that has been going on for months and months and months now. I mean, it just becomes difficult, and you almost kind of run out of solutions on how to slow this thing down or cease it altogether at once. And so I think that these schools will continue to find ways and become creative on how to keep their athletes safe in town. I mean, because regardless on whether we have football or not, I mean, these kids' safety is priority. And so I think that these programs are finding effective ways week in and week out to try to keep their athletes safe in town and keeping them, virus-free and everything. So it's going to be interesting, like you said, though, Mike, to kind of see how the rest of this season plays out. I know for me personally, I look forward to a season. I think America needs football right now. I think we need, competitive sports right now to just kind of keep us relaxed as we try to figure out, when this COVID thing is going to end. And so, like I said, for me personally, I think we're going to finish out the season as best we can. But, on the other end of it, I mean, who knows? Who really knows how this thing may turn out? So
here's a sobering thought, because I was talking with Dave Hennigan, the head coach at Denton Ryan, who we saw last week. One of the best teams in the state regardless of level. They are the best team in the state in 5A Division I and the favorite to win a state championship this year in 5A Division I. But even independent of level, I think they are right there with the Duncanvilles and the Galena Park North Shores. I mean, they are that good even as a 5A Division I program. But they are in a situation where right now they have had to shut down for the next 2 weeks because they have a couple cases in their program. They're now up to 4. Last I was told anyway last night, they have 4 cases within their program. And for what it's worth, freshman, JV, varsity, across the program as a whole. They haven't specified exactly who these kids are, how old they are. They're not getting into those details, and nor should they. But he said to me yesterday, I think at some point, everyone is going to have to shut their program down at one point or another. Yeah. All of these teams are probably going to have to deal with this at some point or another, which frankly begs the question, is this really a good idea if that's the situation that we're in right now? I'm not sure. But it's Texas, and it's high school football, and the love affair with this sport is apparently strong enough that everybody's going to keep pushing forward on this and keep pressing play on this high school football season, and we're all going to keep our fingers crossed that it goes better than it did this week, because this week was not a good week for high school football in the state of Texas, too many of these games are getting canceled. Too many of these programs are having to go into these quarantines, and I'm uncomfortable. I'll at least say that. And we can get off our soapbox here. We can go ahead and wrap this thing up. But it's a topic that is frankly worthy of discussion. And we had too good a football game to really get into the weeds on it over the course of tonight. Credit to both of these programs. They played real well tonight and gave us a good show. So we were focused on the football this evening. But there are big questions as to whether or not anything that we're doing right now is really all that smart. Anyway, when it's all said and done, it's an 18-13 Timberview win over Flower Mound. Your thoughts on a very, very impressive performance from Timberview, answering the call in the second half and responding to what Flower Mound did there in the third quarter?
I mean, absolutely. They found a way. They found a way to continue to put points up on the board despite their turnovers, despite their penalties. I mean, I think that just happens early in the season, Mike, as kids kind of get comfortable. Like we said, we had a long period of time where, football was kind of questionable, and so guys were trying to figure out, am I actually going to play? And so guys are trying to find a rhythm here early in the season and got to get some of these first game jitters out and mistakes out. And so, but they found a way to win. That's one thing that's why they're ranked as high as they are. That's why they have the respect and the reputation that they do, is that they find a way to win. And they absolutely did that tonight. And I mean, even credit to Flower Mound for coming out in the second half and making the changes that they needed to make in order to give themselves a chance, because early in the first half, I mean, you may have thought that Timberview was going to kind of run away with this one, but Flower Mound came out second half, gave themselves a chance, but Timberview just found a way to win the ball game, Mike. So, but overall, I mean, just a phenomenal night of football tonight.
No doubt. Impressive performance from both of these teams. Credit to Flower Mound for the comeback they made, but certainly credit to Timberview for answering the call, and Deuce Jones with a big night tonight. A 4-yard touchdown run and a 60-yard touchdown reception in the fourth to win it. And Timberview starts the season 2-0 as they head into district play. That'll put this one in the books. Our thanks to our crew tonight: Clay Marshall, our director; Dwayne Watkins, our photographer; Nick Blackhall, our digital coordinator; and our technical director is Don Hazen. The executive producer of Friday Night Football is Sean Hamilton. For John Diars, I'm Mike Leslie. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight, and a big thank you to both of these head coaches and both of their athletic directors as well at these two schools. What James Brown and Brian Basil did for us over the course of the last 24 hours to allow us to learn about their teams at breakneck speed. Thank you to both of them for that. Thank you to both of these athletic directors, Philip O'Neill and Tim Ford, for Mansfield and Louisville ISD. This all together yesterday. Thanks to everyone involved in making this one even happen tonight on what was a crazy, bizarre week of high school football here in the state of Texas. 18-13 the final. Timberview with the win. Join us next week on Friday Night Football as we are in Aledo for what should be one of the best games in the state. Cedar Hill on the road to face Aledo in a good one. We hope to see you then.